are making their move. This is Tiger and a birdie at the third hole. And then just a moment ago at the 8th, on a day where few birdies have been found, Woods is 2 under for the day and now trails only 7 others. He's 3 off the lead. And Mickelson holding his position. This just a few moments back. A par save at the 11th. He's even for the day. And a magnificent start as well for Australian Stuart Applebee, who shares the lead with Brett Wederick. Clark is one back. Vijay Singh, who won it here in 2000, is at even. And there's Woods at +1 as the third round is underway.
I had interest in building what I considered to be an ideal golf course. Found the ground in Augusta, and it seemed to me an ideal location, and I was completely entranced. The idea of the tournament came along after we had finished the course. Then we began to think we'd like to see it tested, and further we would like to bring fine players to this part of the country.
Founder Bobby Jones opened Augusta National 75 years ago. He must have known that future generations would stand on the first tee in awe of what a victory here would represent. Jones' vision of the brilliance his course would bring has been brought to life by those of equal imagination. There have been others to walk his path to glory. Phil Mickelson has mastered this tournament twice in the last 3 years, as he and Tiger have presented green jackets to one another with a similar consistency of Arnie and Jack in the 60s. The weekend has arrived, and Tiger, as well as the rest of the field, has struggled against the toughest scoring conditions in years. But still, he's well positioned to make a run at a 5th green jacket. Defending champion Phil Mickelson faces a comeback challenge of his own. Who will walk the gardens of Augusta and pass the test first envisioned 3/4 of a century ago by Bobby Jones at the Masters?
From the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, CBS Sports proudly presents the Masters.
Thank you, Pat Summerall. The sun is shining here once again, but the invisible factor is weighing heavy. Something you can't see, only its effect. And today, it's spinning the minds of the world's greatest golfers. Wind, gusty winds, coupled with firm, fast greens, is making this the most mind-numbing Masters tournament in years. But there are moves being made here on Saturday, what has always been known around these parts as Moving Day. And it's in fact the very best who are making the most of it in very difficult conditions. Stuart Applebee is 3 under for his day to share the lead early. It's only 50 degrees, and with the winds sometimes, in fact, reaching 20-mile-an-hour gusts, it's a wind chill of 45. That is it. Springtime in Augusta, it's a whole lot different feeling this year than any other year in recent memory. It all started, there was a chill in the air back Thursday morning before 8 o'clock when the legend Arnold Palmer approached the first tee and was introduced by Masters and Augusta chairman Billy Payne.
Ladies and gentlemen, now on the tee at Augusta National, where he belongs, to the thrill and delight of millions of his fans, 4-time Masters champion, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
Well, he had said goodbye just a few years back, competed in 50 events here. The 4-time winner ripped it right down the left center of the fairway. A beauty by the king, Arnold Palmer. It was a glorious sight.
Yeah.
What a way to start the week. Our CBS golf team scattered around the second nine here. We welcome Ian Baker Finch down to Amen Corner with Peter Costas at 13, Bill McAtee calling the play at 14, David Faherty at the par 5 15th, and Hall of Famer Vern Lundquist at 16 with Peter Osterhaus reporting the play at 17. We're going to send it out live now to the ninth hole where Tiger is hole high for birdie. And this is another tricky one. Interesting, a very similar hole location to what we saw here on Thursday. And Tiger moving around here at 2 under. Birdies at the 3rd and the 8th, the rest pars. Well, he's going to have a couple of feet up the hill remaining. He's been his usual self in those 4 and 5 footers and in. He's been challenged by a few of those so far today, but answered that challenge every time so far. At the second hole, Brett Wederick, he drove it into the trees in trouble, and Peter Osterhaus is there.
He drove it in the hazard to the left of the fairway. He's a powerful hitter. He would have been trying to attack a par 5, but he will have that left for a bogey 6. Back to the 9th.
That means Applebee leads alone at 2 under. Tiger's in with a par at the 9th and out in 34. So Wederick, he made his 6 over at the 2nd. That leaves Applebee alone at -2. Wederick, the only other player in red figures at -1. Let's go to the 6th. Vern Lundquist.
And his bid for birdie. Well, he should safely gather the par. Stuart Applebee, 35 years of age, 11th Masters appearance. Missed the cut 5 previous times, 5 out of 10. And his best finish ever here a year ago, a tie for 19th. So really showing early form, and particularly in these difficult conditions today when he opened with a par and then birdie, birdie, birdie to claim a share of the lead. Back-to-back pars now, and he stands alone at 2. Let's go to the second.
Tim Clark, the South African, trying to coax that one, and he would also bogey number 2. 2 sixes for the final group, and bogey start for Clark, who was over the back of the first green with his second shot. Couldn't get up and down. Tied for 3rd here last year. As we go to number 13.
Where Phil Mickelson has driven it beautifully here, has 225 left, second shot to this par 5. Coming off a disappointing bogey back at 12, he needs to do something. Oh, that needed to carry just a little bit farther. Be a straightforward little bump and run for him to try and make his birdie here at 13. Stuart Applebee, the leader in birdies made through this tournament so far, has a 1-shot lead over Brett Wederick. Tiger Woods getting himself back into contention now at +1.
Things are changing in a hurry around here. Nothing unusual. Hello, friends. Jim Nance, along with Nick Faldo. Welcome to historic Butler Cabin. And may I start by saying welcome, Nick Faldo. It's great to have you here. That's a chair you're very familiar with. I got to sit across from you on 3 occasions when you were presented the green jacket.
Well, I have to be very honest. I was walking down here and I came over all unnecessary for a couple of moments. I thought, wow, I'm returning to Butler Cabin. I haven't been there since my victories. And he knows by looking in my eyes, I'm already started haven't I?
There are absolutely tears in your eyes.
Not quite, but it is quite, for we champions, this is quite a special place.
Now, people are out here looking at the scores here today. They also see the course. It's beautiful. It's clear. And they're wondering why in the world is everyone struggling out there today, Nick, and all week?
Yeah, as you can say, it's an invisible defense out here. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly firm on this golf course. And, you know, the players are really struggling. It's cold, it's breezy. how do you play Augusta with such cold hands? You know, the touch is really being exemplified here today.
We've never had an Australian win the Masters before, but here's Stuart Applebee in the lead, and here comes Tiger, 2 under for the day. What do you make of all of this?
Well, I think this is all, the man who controls the speed of the race is always Tiger Woods right now. And even though he's back, you know, the whole week changed in that first 9 holes for me. Instead of thinking 10 under is going to win, you know, the players had to think, well, this could be a level par tournament here, really could, or even might even go over. We have these same conditions. So for me, everybody who was like 6 and 7 over is still very much in this event.
Welcome, Nick. It's good to have you in Butler Cabin with a blue jacket. We've seen you in a green jacket here. We'll enjoy watching it with you.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, some of the things to look out for, and this just absolutely accentuates what you're saying here. Look at the scoring average compared to the last 7 years. It's, well, 2003 was the previous high, if you will, in this stretch, and we're talking a stroke and a half harder per round. Our featured pairings and those down the stretch, mostly unknown in majors, if you will, except for this guy, Vijay Singh, who won here, of course, in 2000, has 3 majors to his credit. There's Zach Johnson with 1 career tour win. That was up the road in Atlanta, by the way, so he's had success here in the Peach State. And Vaughn Taylor, the Augusta native, with Jerry Kelly, who's off to a slow start, 2 over for the day already for Kelly. And Brett Wetterick and Tim Clark, the final pairing, and they, too, are having some hardships at the beginning of this round. Over to the 10th we go, and Tiger starting his second side. It seems like, Nick, the first 2 days he had a real hard time finding his swing, and some adjustments overnight are quite evident.
Well, it's very important. He realizes he is very much in the event. There's so many of the players, him and Phil Mickelson, have really struggled hard and had to deal with the, you know, patience, frustration, and, you know, but they still keep believing they are in the tournament.
All right, we move over to the 3rd hole. Ian Baker Finch, greetings to you.
Thank you very much, Jim and Nick. Emotional time for you there, Nick, there in Butler Cabin. Good to see.
Thank you very much, there, Finch. I know what you know what it's like, isn't it, when we reminisce?
Certainly. And Brett Wetterick, one of the 4 Ryder Cup rookies, playing this week and playing nicely. Just 1 club too many here, though. And that will be a treacherous chip back to the 3rd. You see that hole location at the 3rd is tucked way over in that front left corner of the green, in that little neck of green that juts out. Impossible to get it close there. Applebee's in a little bit of trouble. Obviously playing in good form, finished 2nd in Houston last week. The 7th and the 3rd holes adjacent, opposite directions. And Stuart trying to figure out what he should do here, lay it up out of the rough or have a go for it as we head back over just 30 or 40 yards away, really, to Tim Clark now.
I'm going to go a little right.
For those of you that don't know Tim Clark very well, I can tell you he is one tough customer. He's one of those guys that you always wanted to pick on your team, whether it be cricket or soccer or football, not because of his stature, but because of his demeanor. He's like a pit bull terrier. Gary Player knows it, and he picked him as a captain's choice in the President's Cup team at Fancourt in South Africa back in 2003, and he really did very, very well. Partnered the big Ernie Els in 4-ball play and won both his matches, and has 3 top 3s in major competition already to his credit at just 31 years of age. So don't be surprised if he hangs around in these tough conditions. Let's head over to 7 now.
A view from behind the green, very narrow in depth. Stuart Applebee has driven it left. He's in the 2nd cut, has a reasonable lie and stance, but seriously has tree troubles. He needs to decide what he's going to try and do. He's probably going to go up and over the trees, judging by the loft in the club. Augusta wind backs him off, and that is the prediction for this afternoon, that fairly steady winds this morning are going to give way to really gusty conditions, as much as maybe 25 or even 30 miles an hour. He has to hoist it way up in the air, and that puts it at the mercy of the wind. Yeah, lays it well short. Stuart Applebee, however, through the first 2 rounds, 11 birdies, the most of anyone in the field, has followed that with 3 more birdies today. Now here at 13. Third shot for Phil Mickelson. Very quick past the hole. Yeah, it's amazing how the fear of going long makes so many shots come up short. Just not a position where he could challenge even just a little short shot with his skills. Let's go back to 3.
And speaking about the fear of going long, making you want to come up short, it's the opposite on this hole, Peter. The fear of coming up short on this hole makes you want to make sure you're up. Brett Wetterick's really in dire straits here. He has to come through a little valley, up over a knob, down again, and then to a green. He's really only got 4 or 5 paces of surface, and he really wants to lob it up there and land it just on the fringe.
Ian, he's got to land at about 3 or 4 paces short of the putting surface. There's a little upslope there, and surprisingly, you have to play with a little less lofty club, otherwise it won't bobble up. And he's done that brilliantly. Oh. And there it goes. We'll have to hang on.
Yeah, that's where he didn't want to be in the first place. And that ball can feed 40 yards short, Nick, can't it? 40, 50 yards short sometimes. Look at that.
His swing looks a little quicker to me already, Ian Begovic.
Yes, it certainly does, Nick. He's definitely a little out of sorts. The tee shot at 2 really showed us that, I thought. Very quick. But it's hard to get your nerves at any time in a major championship. At Augusta, I think even a little more difficult. And on a day like today, when it's cool, the nerves and that jittery feeling sort of shows up even more. And this is not one of those shots you want to have when you are feeling a bit jittery. I played with Raymond Floyd here once, Nick, and he left it short with that shot and then chipped his next one in. It's a tough shot as we go to 13.
Mickelson for birdie. Just runs out of pace, and with only 225 yards in for his second shot, that will be a disappointing par 5 for Phil Mickelson at 13. Let's go back to 3.
Let's see how Brett Wetterick can handle this. Oh, went the lob and knifed it. Well, that's what can happen. The lies are so firm and so clean. There's not a lot of grass under the ball. Very, very hard to lob it. Let's go to 10.
For the second shot of Tiger.
Pin way back in the left-hand corner. Tiger will go for the middle of the green, and only just clambers on the front edge. So look at that. That'll be very close to the famous Crenshaw putt that Ben Hold way back in 1984.
And back over to the 7th.
Good view now from behind of the third shot for Stuart Applebee. Again, has lots of options, can funnel it from left, from right, and from behind the hole back down to the front right hole location. Doesn't carry too much speed. Just as happened earlier to Paul Casey, just a fraction too much speed. It gets caught up in the fringe cut and does not take the contour back to the hole. This is Stuart Applebee now, his third shot at the second hole, the par 5. At this point, he was +1. Beautiful little pitch and run. He went on to make that to get himself to even par. Now this for birdie at 3. And gets himself into red numbers at -1. And then the difficult par 3 fourth hole. Only playing 180 yards today, but still difficult nonetheless. A wonderful tee shot. Half a dozen feet behind the hole. This for his third birdie in a row. That's how Stuart Applebee got himself to 2 under par and in the lead of the 3rd round of the Masters. He will have his work cut out for him, though, from the back edge of the 7th green to stay at -2. While he waits, let's go to 3.
And Brett Wederick's 5th shot at the par 4. A much easier shot, plenty of green to play with. Just read it right like a putt. Well done, collected himself well. He came in here in good form, was 2nd at the CA Championship at Doral a couple of weeks ago. It's always good as we go over to 10.
And Tiger with another one of those difficult 2 putts, and you brought up the Crenshaw putt of 1984, which you were an eyewitness to, playing in that pairing with Ben, the eventual winner.
I was right there on that last day, and it was an incredible lesson for me to see what is required to be the Masters champion. And it's his putting was amazing, especially the one on the 14th. I thought was the one that really won him the event. We left it way short and hold about at least 12-footer downhill, but it was also great to see Ben make the cut this week. I thought that was a fabulous effort.
Very nice. Of course, you learned so much. You went out and won the very next week at Hilton Head. Your 2nd win on American soil. You had won the Southwest Conference Championship at Houston.
Anyway, Tiger, watch. He's going to swing that round the caddy. Look at that.
Is that coming back?
10 feet of break. It should turn. And oh, he'd be disappointing to leave it top side.
Ben was a little more on the right center of that green. And here it is, an 84.
That's one of the greatest putts I've ever seen.
There you are. Of course, Ben went on to win it again in 1995 and making the cut once again this year for the 2nd straight year. Let's go over to the play at the 7th.
The par putt for Stuart Applebee on its way. And there you can see the influence. Virtually all the putts on this golf course are influenced by Rays Creek, the 11th, 12th green area. And that is to his left. And that ball did not come back to the right as he had thought it might. So he has a good 2.5 feet left for his bogey at the 7th hole. Back to 3.
This for double bogey for Brett Wederick. That is definitely not the start you needed. Tied for the lead after day 1 and again after day 2. And now back to 2 over par. Tie for 9th now as we go over to 7.
Difficult putt for Stuart Applebee. Well, this is where Brett Wederick's caddy needs to really grab him and slow him down. He's doing everything quickly. It's a 5 off an errant tee shot at the 7th hole for Stuart Applebee. He moves to -1. Still the only player in red figures, and I suspect, Nick Faldo, if conditions continue as they are, there will be no one in red figures by the end of the day.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. It's going to be a real test, and it's so interesting as soon as the guys who've had the lead or suddenly gain the lead at the Masters, what happens at the next hole.
It's easy to say, it's a cliche almost. Patience is a virtue in major championships, but in these conditions, it's absolutely paramount. Let's go to 4.
And Tim Clark.
Carry just a little. Get up.
Right in the face of the bunker, and if that is buried, that's no good. The 4th hole, Flowering Crabapple, can be played as long as, well, almost 250 yards we can play it at now. But off the front tee today, 180 yards, the flag up there in the back right-hand corner, and Tim Clark has just put it right in the face of that bunker. If he's got a lie, he may be okay. 3 birdies, 33 pars today. It's the 4th toughest hole on the golf course. So we go to 10.
And another slippery one here for Tiger. And he hasn't missed any of those today. We're to 14.
Phil Mickelson, 139 yards away. This is a very exposed part of the golf course. Playing left to right. And this is a beautiful effort from Mickelson. No birdies at 14 today, but Phil will have a chance. To 8.
Jeff Ogilvy's 3rd shot. It's from quite a ways back. Eighth hole, no great opportunity for a birdie today. A tremendous result there from a long way away. Missing there with his 2nd shot. To the 5th.
And Zach Johnson has this for par.
And watch this, he just touched the ball. When you're putting well, they're an absolute joy to putt on. But if they're not going in, it's an absolute nightmare.
That Zach Johnson falls to +1. Tiger and VJ and the group at +1 have now only 4 players in front of them. And this is the leader of the pack at the moment, Stuart Applebee at the 8th.
570 yards uphill and into the wind. So whereas tees are up a little bit, maybe 15 yards up from the back edge of the tee, but still, instead of thinking about any big drive and then being aggressive on the 2nd shot, I think the players are trying to get the best position for their pitch. Huge bunker down the right, and that started left and looked as if it was turning more left. Need some luck amongst the trees to be able to recover to the top of the hill. It might be unlikely or risky for him to go to the top of the hill and have a view of the flagstick for his 3rd shot. Check out this after the 1st round. Brett Wetterick 3 under par. Brilliant 1st round. 2nd round, still under par. Tim Clark 2 under. 3 o'clock. He's still tied at the top. Applebee had made a nice start. Now, wait a minute. Stuart Applebee is now leading Wetterick after that disaster at the short par for 3rd, 3 back. Ogilvy, after his lovely 3rd shot at the 8th, misses a golden opportunity. Ogilvy is hanging in there. United States Open champion is 4 over par, despite having an 8 and a 6 at the 2nd hole. He made a bogey there today. Australian. Looks pretty cool. This was earlier at the 8th. Jim Furyk, number 2 in the world rankings. Solid. Very often maybe not to be favoured at Augusta National because he doesn't have the length of many other players to attack par 5s, but tough competitor in these conditions. Maybe he'll have a chance. And things have changed dramatically. Wetterick is not even on that first page. Applebee, after the great start, the only player under par. And guess what? Tiger Woods is 2 back. And only 4 players ahead of him. Paul Casey playing alongside Tiger Woods, also going nicely through 10 holes. Wetterick +2. There's Ogilvy through the 8th. Craig Stadler, Champions Tour player these days, a past champion at the Masters. And Goosen, a 70, played at 10:40 this morning, 5th group off. Nobody thought an under par round was going to be possible. And now we find Stuart Applebee's ball left of the 8th fairway. And what options might he have from here? Not many.
Don't make a path for the golfer.
8th hole, named Yellow Jasmine. 570 yards uphill, stretched out just a couple of years ago. Stretched out to 570. The bunker on the right was enlarged. And this is the difficulty. Uphill with the second shot. Players, even with a perfect drive, can't see the green complex. If you can't get to the green, lay out to your favorite yardage. Get a good angle on the hole location. It's very, very tricky. Back left corner is hidden from the fairway. So that's what we saw, the green complex. It's important for Applebee to get this into a good position. And be able to find the green with his third, let alone get it close. Today, averaging over par. Maybe the third easiest hole, but for a par 5 to be averaging over par, you know something's going on. It's a combination of that back right hole location and the wind against. Even though it's 570 in calm conditions, the longer hitter still thinking about reaching the green in 2. Now, is he going to try some vicious hook? We'll have to see. To 14.
Phil Mickelson trying to work his way back with a wonderful birdie chance. And the first birdie of the day at the 14th. Mickelson back to +5 level on the day. Back to 8.
Now the temptation for a talented player like Applebee, is he going to hit a low hook, shoot it through the large gap between the trees, but with lots of hook, and try and get it closer to the green? Is it worth the risk? Or just get it on the fairway and take your medicine? And just roll that club face closed. And we're practicing a little hook.
Sure.
Nick Faldo, there's a time to take your medicine and a time to be aggressive. What do you think of this one?
Oh, I agree. You see, to try and hit, as you describe it, a little hook or roll the face off pine needles is so easy to, as we could see, his ball was sitting down, very easy to sort of smother it with the needles there, and you could easily, I mean, how can you be accurate trying to hit it, punching it through the trees? So very risky.
Inside backswing, closed club face. He's going for a vicious hook.
He's thinking about it too much. He's done it. He's done very well. He was just double checking everything, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he stayed on the fairway. I thought he was going to try and be even more aggressive than that. He still has a long way to go, but he has a good line into the green from there. 570 yards uphill into the wind today. It will be a long third shot for our tournament leader. So let's just double check the leaderboard again. Applebee 2 under par for his first 7 holes. Tim Clark, runner-up last year. Tiger Woods, 5th place. And other big names in world golf. Bradley Dredge, a rookie here at the Masters, the Welshman. Wetterick 4 over for his round.
Folks, we want to remind you for more live master.
We're back at the 8th hole, looking back down towards the tee to find Applebee. Third shot, a long way to go. 220 yards. It's quite a bit uphill. Only 36 yards of that is the hole location, so he can get to the front of the green. Tremendous hit, unlucky not to get a right to left bounce and be on the putting surface. 211.
And the second shot for Tiger Woods down the hill here, right to left breeze. Struggled with the tee shot here the last 2 days, but a better drive today. Just look at the huge kick off the mounds there short of this green. This is severely downhill, the second shot. And that was actually a little unfortunate not to carry a couple of yards more and get a straight bounce closer. But still, uphill putt. Here's a good look at this green here at 11. Obviously the pond comes into play regularly there at the left. 42 yards in length, 8 more than average here at the Masters. Hole location today is 24 paces on, so about halfway up on the right side. Let's go to 7.
Where Lucas Glover has this for bogey. Had a blemish-free round going. But now the bogey at 7 cancels the birdie at 1, and he's at +1. Good, solid young player. Let's go back to 4.
And Tim Clark for par. See, boy, the contortions with the putter. The minute that ball got off the face, he wanted to twirl that like a baton. Clearly feeling a little uncomfortable as we go to 5.
And Vaughn Taylor is in second alone as he holds that one for par. Applebee at -1, then Taylor at even, and the rest of the field is over par. Let's go to 6.
Vijay Singh short of the green. This is for birdie. My, oh my. To 15.
And Mickelson with 237 yards going at the 15th green. Oh, a beautiful shot. That's nowhere near the flagstick, but an excellent effort just to hold this putting surface. And that will be a tough 2-putt. May have to flirt with the fringe there. Back to 11.
And Tiger taking a good look at this 35-footer up the hill for his birdie. Started 5 shots back. When he won here a couple of years ago, he was 6 behind after 36 holes. And in fact, after 36 holes, only one time, and that was back in '97, was he in front. His other 3 victories have been from behind. Once again, he runs it by, leaves himself that delicate little one coming back. This green is lightning from right to left and towards the pond. Back to 8.
Stuart Applebee trying to force the long iron up the hill. Unlucky not to bounce onto the green. 4th shot. Plays it beautifully. So he will escape with a par after a very wayward tee shot. I think the long iron was going to be enough then with that 3rd shot, but 186 to the front, the pin 36 yards back, so peculiar yardage.
And at the 6th, this is VJ for par. They fall back to 2 over and 3 off the lead. We go to 7.
Justin Rose at the 7th. Well positioned in the fairway. That's what we expected to see more of here at the 7th hole. It really is a very accessible hole location, although you wouldn't know it by the way the last few groups have gone through here. Back to 11.
And an interesting little statistic for you that after 2 rounds, there were 10 players. Only 5 of those 10 made the cut that were without a 3-putt around Augusta National, which if you've ever played here, or for those millions of you that have watched this place, it is very difficult to get around without a 3-putt. Tiger has yet to have a 3-putt in this championship, in this tournament, and faces a tough 4-footer downwind, downhill to keep that stat alive.
Yeah, and that's what Tiger and Hank Haney really believe is one of the most important stats.
That's right. 3-putt avoidance.
I mean, he asked me, you tell me, you know, when you won last, how many 3-putts you had? And he's right. It's maybe 1 in the week.
They're the ones you have to hold. Continue to hold those around here, and you'll do well at the end of the week. You see that statistic year in, year out. Standing ovation here. You watch the patrons stand as the well-known players, the Masters champions. Make their way to 12 tee. Take their seats, and today he must avoid the mistake of yesterday. Just a 9-iron for Tiger. And once again, the swirling winds took control of this hole, one of the toughest on the course, even though it was only 141 yards. Just a little short, but that's what happens. Typically, the wind will balloon the ball. It comes down with more spin. But he made a very good bogey. Nick, I'd say the players take at least a minute, sometimes 2 minutes longer than normal on this tee.
Yeah, it's so important to decide where you're going to go. Let's back to 8 for a moment.
A very short par putt. Stuart Applebee staying under par for the tournament. And the wind behind at the next. Back to the 12th.
Yes, Ian, you're right. The 12th green has like 3 areas, you know, the front left portion, the middle, and the right portion. You have to make a decision of where you want the ball to land, and you can't change your mind because the green is angled so beautifully that if you decide to go just safe in the middle, and then maybe you think, well, maybe I'll go left for more safety, you're too long, and vice versa, too short on the right side.
Just a little cut off 8-iron, asking for it to sit. Well, he'll be hoping that found the sand rather than the grass. Try and get a little bit of spin on it.
Certainly better than the pine needles. Those are the ones that are absolutely disastrous if the ball ends up on those.
Well, after coming up short yesterday, it was almost inevitable, wasn't it, Nick, that he'd go a little long today?
Well, you can see him rehearsing. He wants his scoop. He wants it to kind of rotate, let his hands fan the face open, and he's unable to do that on that one.
Back at 6.
Vaughn Taylor, the native of Augusta, playing just his second Masters tournament. Missed the cut last year, alone in second. Well done. And earlier, Lee Westwood. This is another way to play this shot. This was this morning. Well, you just work with what you're given. And if you're given a severe slope.
Hey, Vern.
Yes.
In your life, have you ever seen anything like that?
James. I'm not going to go down that hallway. How about that? You know, I saw Westwood here at 16 on the practice round, skipped the ball over the water, skipped it 4 times, and he hit the pin and wound up 6 inches from the hole. Almost had a hole-in-one. Let's go to 7.
This is Justin Rose for his birdie to get to +1. Nicely played hole by Justin Rose. He makes a 3. His fellow competitor, David Howell, made a triple bogey playing next to him. Let's go to 15.
Mickelson now. Long downhill putt. Not much in it. Gonna drift off to the right here. Back down toward the water. You can see he needed to start that just a touch closer to the fringe, and that one, well, it's just, I will not be happy with that. It's in the twilight zone. Back to 6.
And Taylor. This is the 20th anniversary of Larry Mize's Masters Championship. And that was Vaughn Taylor's first time. His dad brought him to that tournament. Can't say that. And said when Mize had that chip in of 140 feet on the 11th hole, he was watching it home on television. He came right off the couch. To 15.
Well, I had a good look at this morning, and this ball, I watched it break toward the water going down there. Should do that. And it doesn't. So that'll be a bitterly disappointing 3-putt 5 there as David Toms on 13 for birdie.
And he converts it. He is 1 under for the day, and there aren't very many guys under par for the day. Paul Casey, Tiger Woods, David Toms, Stuart Applebee. The conditions are just brutally difficult, and can't be a very pretty picture for Tiger back at 12, Ian.
That's for sure, Peter. He's, as I can tell you, Phil Mickelson tapped in back at 15. Paul Casey hit it 30 yards right of the green here at 12. He's one of those players you mentioned in red figures today. Tiger did find the sand and has played a gem. A little lip on the front of this green that'll stay there, maybe even feed back onto the surface. Almost as good as he can do. Hard to get spin from the sand. Very thick, shiny silicon sand. That's left for par. Back to 5.
And Tim Clark, again, every time we see him, these putts are for par, not birdies. And he fails to convert. Nicky's now 4 over for the day through 5 holes.
Well, this is all, as we've talked so much about, leading. The spotlight is on you. Augusta, it's even probably one of the brightest spotlights in professional golf.
He and Wederick are 9 over combined. Let's go to 13.
Well, Henrik Stenson moves from 10 over to 8 over with the first eagle since Rich Beans on Thursday morning. It doesn't mean much for him right now in the tournament, but it does show you what can happen here at 13. Let's go to 16.
Phil Mickelson.
Oh, no.
The result can't be good. When the player says, oh no. Last year, recall his tee shot here at the par 3. And there you had it. Went on to win the championship for the tournament for the second time. We go to 9.
Here we've got Applebee, our leader. Actually, our leader now by 2.
And this really is the wrong side to be coming from. You needed to get it down that right-hand edge of the fairway. He's going to come across those 2 enormous bunkers. And everything goes hard left to right. Look at that. So a really sensible shot. If you could get it pin high on that top shelf or even off it to the right. Good release with the right hand. But, oh, it's unbelievable. Oh, excuse me, as I said. No problem at all. Just dangled it 1 foot over the left-hand bunker into there.
Back to 12.
Oh.
Tiger for par. Oh, just you see that coming from the fringe. Just bobbled left. Thought he might have had a little go at chipping that one for that reason. First bogey in the last 18 holes. And moves him to 2 over par. Just 1 under on his round so far today. He'll make his way up to the 13th tee, the end of Amen Corner. Stuart Applebee leads the way by 2.
Stuart Applebee has taken the lead here on moving day. Blazing start. Has another look at birdie at 9. Tiger making his move, even though he's bogeyed the 12. We're back at Augusta National, where it's been for, other than the likes of Tiger, Nicholson holding steady, Applebee has been anything but a breeze for the rest of the field. As again, the Masters flexes its muscles here in cold, firm, fast conditions. The sun keeps on shining, and it'll be the same tomorrow, but will be about 10 degrees warmer. Our wind chill here is in the 40s, but the gusts up to 20-mile-an-hour winds. When you combine that with those fast putting surfaces, well, you can't help but find yourself playing defensively the great majority of the time. Tiger approaching the par 5 13th at +2 after his first bogey of the day. There's Tom's at 1 under for the day. Ogilvy 3 over for his round. Mickelson, can he get up and down out of the bunker at 16? And Retief Goosen was his round of 70, only sullied somewhat by a bogey at the 18th hole. Will he at day's end have a chance at +6 to make a run tomorrow? Our scoring average for the week, the highest of the week so far, round 3, and that's when you've trimmed the field.
Exactly. We only have 60 players, and my jaw nearly hit my lap there when I saw 77. I've never seen that before.
Let's go out to the 16th.
And the problems for Phil Mickelson. Very good chance. Oh boy, that took a nasty kick. Now you are led to understand why he went oh no when he saw where his tee shot was headed. So Jim, if he can get up and down here, it's going to be a miracle. His whole location today at 16, up on that upper right plateau. We go to 13.
On the tee, Tiger Woods. Much better rhythm to his overall golf swing, although that's hanging out a little bit to the right. There should be no problem. That's why he went with the 3-wood. And this is the hole yesterday where, watch this, a bird flies through, the shadow disrupts Tiger's concentration, and he manages to stop his golf swing. There was no intent to hit the golf ball, therefore no penalty involved, other than the fact that he nearly broke his back, his wrist, and his hip. Let's go back to 9.
And how about Stuart Applebee? Can somehow make this. It'll be birdie. And 33 on the side, and unable to cash in on the break.
Well, Stuart, in fact, made 7 birdies yesterday and 3 on the front line here, so that is way above average. Justin Rose had 0 birdies. I think made 1 on the 7th. So that's his first in 20+ holes.
Let's go to 7.
We have Zach Johnson. No, wonderful stroke, wonderful effort there to save his par and remain at +1. Patience, patience, patience. You can't say it too much. Let's go back to 6.
Tim Clark for birdie. Well, he and Wetterick are in needs of tourniquets. To 8.
Justin Rose. Another player not able to reach this par 5 in 2. Trying to hit a precise pitch shot. Stay there. That's how much slope there is. He was going to be in good position there, maybe 8 feet below the hole. Much further away than he wanted after a short pitch, looking for a birdie opportunity. 16.
And Phil Mickelson, after that bunker shot, this is to try and save par. Great pace, but he will fall short by a foot So Mickelson with the errant tee shot that wound up in the bunker loses 1 to par here at the 16th. Six over. Back to the 7th.
From the second cut on the right-hand side, trees in front, Vaughn Taylor. Likely to go low and try to run it up maybe into the bunker. Oh, a nice kick over the first bunker and into the second. Again, will not be in too much difficulty there. Just needs to get it out and let it trundle down to the hole. Now you see Tiger with his arms crossed. I doubt that he's uncomfortable with the situation. Trying to stay warm, Nick, but he has put it in the second cut and has a considerable distance left. What do you think? Go or no go?
Well, it all as you know, it all depends very much on the lie. If he believes he can carry the ball consistently and get it a good, 5 to 10 yards onto the green. If he's not 100% sure of that, the difficulty here is the slope. You have the ball above your feet, but it's also a downhill lie, and it's so easy to catch the ball fractionally behind it. You don't get the carry.
Yeah, he's got 248 all the way back to the hole on the back left plateau. He's got 213 to the front on that direct line.
No, I think by the way, in the lower end of the bag, he's going to try and lay up and leave optimum distance.
Well, there used to be a bunch of different ways to route your golf ball around this golf course, and I would say 20 or 30% of them are gone now, due to the second cut and the trees that have been planted. And this is one of those situations. Electing to play it out to the right. And he has put that. Whoa. I guess it just bounced off some of the people sitting down there in the front row.
Just to keep him warm.
Now he's okay.
You can tell by the excitement, a little shrieks.
Well, in this case, I think it's the correct play for Tiger. He's also going to be playing to one of his strengths, and there's a handful of guys that you put him inside of 120 yards, their game is impeccable, and he's one of them.
He played a beautiful pitch on day one when he managed to judge the bounce, landed it short of the ridge, just hopped it over, got the right amount of backspin, and then made the putt coming back down the hill.
Back to 7 now, and Vaughn Taylor from that front left bunker. Yeah, nicely done. Very nicely done. He'll have that left for his par. It'll be interesting when we get back to 13 to see if Tiger goes new school or old school, whether he takes it in high and tries to spin it or low and run it. Let's go to 8.
And Zach Johnson, one of the long hitters on tour, so he'll usually be laying up, I think, at this par 5. Find the fairway and then be precise on the layup. But then the right yardage, the right angle. Back to 7.
Jerry Kelly for birdie to get to +1. Oh, that was kind of a little bit of a hit and hope. That's the kind of putt, though, that can really get your pulse rate moving. To 8.
Justin Rose, uphill all the way. Didn't hit it, did he? Not even close. So work to do. Back to 7.
Now to save his par, Vaughn Taylor. Yeah, well done. Off an errant tee shot. He's 2 over for the day, 1 over for the tournament, and by no means out of it. Conditions in the 3rd round of the Masters about as difficult as you can find. Only one player, Stuart Applebee, under par.
For more live Masters coverage tomorrow, go to masters.org and CBS Sports Line for Amen Corner Live beginning at 12:30 and Masters Extra at 1:30. Well, it's Applebee at 1 under par. We're in one of these stretches, Nick Faldo, that you see so many times. You feel like everything is moving in the direction that will eventually lead to Tiger perhaps even taking this lead within the next, say, 1 hour, where everybody kind of participates in their own way. Going one way, he's moving the other. And I know he just bogeyed 12, but do you sense things like that when you're a player on the course?
Well, very much so. I think, well, from my era, we probably had a couple more players, and obviously this era that they live in, Tiger is totally the dominant player, and they're looking at him in their front mirror, their rear mirror, their side mirrors. They know exactly what Tiger's doing, which is giving him the energy.
Let's go to 8.
Justin Rose does hold out for a par, and laid up nicely and not playing his pitch very well. Just a par to 13.
90 yards, downhill lie. Back hole location. A wonderful little low follow through, and look at this. How good is that? A yard farther, the ball could have bounced over. A yard shorter, the ball would have come back to the front portion of the green. But he did neither of those things. Let's go to 17.
Phil Mickelson may well have crashed into the Eisenhower tree, long way back. This hole playing downwind. Could have been just a short iron. He's got a good line on it, but tough to judge it. And this hole location, surprisingly innocent. The original hole location chart showed it back right, the raised up portion to the left of our picture, which would have been very, very difficult with the strong winds. They've changed it. Should have been easier. To 7.
Tim Clark now. Second shot. Oh boy, he is just unraveling now. That shot should have been right in his wheelhouse. That's where he makes his living. And misjudges the wind, comes up short. Let's go to 10.
And we're back with Stuart Applebee, who a year ago had his best Masters finish, tied for 19th.
He's a very good win player, Jim. You know, he's won the Kapalua 3 years in a row, and he blows there consistently at probably 30 miles an hour.
You know, really, almost all of his tour wins have come in windy conditions, not just the ones at Kapalua, but his first win in Houston. He's won there a couple of times. His win outside of Washington.
It's very important, make it as a review the pines there. That is the most important thing. It's whether they shelter you or whether they funnel the wind. That is what the decision that the players are trying to make.
Stewart said a year ago, I'm a good enough player to win at Augusta. I've played a lot in Australia on quick greens. It's not foreign to me, and I haven't come close to playing my best golf yet at Augusta. Maybe this is the week.
And that ball needs to turn. There we go. That's very brave. A little bit too brave. And once again leaves the famous chip shot where it goes up the hill and then down to the pin.
13.
And for the first time since the 6th hole on Thursday, Tiger Woods is back to level par for the tournament. He is moving in the right direction, and boy, Jim Nance, your words were so right. I apologize. He is at +1 off that bogey at 12, but watch this pitch shot.
The third round continues. Jim Nance and Nick Faldo, the whole CBS team here. Nick, you ever play in weather this cold at Augusta in all your years?
No, only once, I think, in a practice round, but never as cold and dry as this. This is a real. It's only 20% humidity, and that is making a major difference to the playing surface.
Stuart Applebee leads it by 2 over a pack of players at +1 that includes Tiger Woods, Justin Rose, Lucas Glover, Zach Johnson, Jerry Kelly. And to 17, Peter Osterhaus.
What should be a straightforward pitch shot for Phil Mickelson. A little bit of a slope towards him, going back into the wind. And needs that for a par. But, horrid tee shot. It's up for par to stay 6 over for the tournament. At 14.
Tiger.
There's a 3-wood here to try and shape the draw. A little bit of extra light shoulder helped that one.
He really had a hard time driving the ball the first 2 days and was in the trees quite often, both right and left. We haven't seen that today. Chinese fir. That is the 14th, and unique in that there is not a single bunker on the hole.
Thank goodness for that. It's tough enough as it is. Those pines on the left are very important. If you overdraw it, you hit them, you end up somewhere here, and then here is an extremely famous green. Contours everywhere, pin today. There we go. On that left side, you can see guarded by that downslope there, but Phil did manage to put some spin on that one and control it in there, but if you come up short, it will meander off all the way down to that left-hand corner as we look at it.
Back over at the 9th. And Lucas Glover. They're going to run at a birdie here. Oh, good putt, too. Clemson golfer, raised in the Carolinas with a great appreciation of this very event as we go over to the 10th. And here's Applebee.
And these are the tough, so difficult to judge. Glover tapped in back on 9, and it's all about judging the number of bounces. And I always found here that you need 2. You need 1 to take the power out of the shot, and then the second bounce needs to land just on the last yard before the green to let the ball bobble over. And obviously then have to make the club selection to make that happen. And I can also tell you Mickelson made par at 17.
This one's going to be a sidewinder.
Yeah, look at that. Look what that leaves. When you can, great indication of the slope he has to face on the putt now.
Has to hold that, or we won't have a single player in the field under par.
Kind of what we predicted at the beginning of the day, Jim.
You said that's where it was going. Let's go to 7.
Tim Clark now for an up and down from the front right bunker. The save is par. Finally. He's gotten off to a disastrous start, but at +2, he is by no means out of this tournament. If he can keep his head in it. Let's go to 8.
Zach Johnson's lengthy birdie putt. We're seeing a lot of long birdie tries at a par 5. This hole is playing very difficult today. 570 yards uphill. And despite the right hole location, it is not easy. Down to 18.
Thank you, Peter Osterhaus. This is the 18th tee where Phil Mickelson made his way here late in the day yesterday. There were shadows engulfing that 18th tee, and his caddy, Jim Mackay, put down the bag, moved some gallery members around a little bit, and that was later reviewed just to look at he had in fact improved his position to be able to fairly play the shot, and the rules committee determined that there was no unfair advantage and no penalty. So a good tee shot by Mickelson here, and he certainly could use one last little boost of confidence to go into the night. 1 over on his round. Back over at the 8th.
Vijay Singh. This should be quite routine up the hill in that he can, if he's not sure of the break, he can hit it firmly. And eliminate some of the break. But this for a par. Vijay's been reeling off top 10s the last few years here, but the best finish, tied for 5th in 05. He was the 2000 champion. He's not interested in being tied for 5th. He wants to win majors. And still analysing the green. He's played here a number of times. He's a champion. Still analysing the green to 10.
And Applebee for par. And that is a very well struck putt. And I've always been surprised. He's got so much game and a good record, Nick. He's never really excelled in the majors, only 3 top 10s.
It is surprising. Very good classic swing as Tiger plays on it.
I would say,
well judged. Will it hang it? Or isn't it amazing? It's not going to. There's another little ridge coming up about now. Oh, he's just made it.
Fortunate that did not go all the way down to the right side. But for a while, it looked like also, for that matter, it might be close. Back to 8.
Zach Johnson. He's hit it too firmly. And for the day and for the tournament. And +1 is just 2 off the lead, bunched with Tiger Woods now tied for second. After that beautifully played pitch shot at the 13th and the birdie. Another 2 players there, +1. Tim Clark, even though he's had some stumbles, is still +2 within range. Wetterick made the mess of the 3rd hole. Jeff Ogilvy still lurking there. US Open champion. Jim Furyk, second in the world rankings. He will not give up at any time, no matter how tough the conditions get. Tief Goosen early in the day, a round of 70, an exceptional score. Average score for the field over 77. Stenson fully yesterday. Go back to 8 and find Jerry Kelly. 3rd shot. And the combination of the wind direction, the whole location and slopes, the players are playing quite conservatively from short range. They don't want to go right. There's no room if they go right of that whole location. Up ahead at 9.
Justin Rose up the hill for birdie. If you could somehow remove the short-term scar tissue and forget about the fact that you haven't been able to make birdies here really since Thursday. And you consider your position overall.
It's an amazing contrast. I was saying that Applebee's had about 10 birdies. Justin Rose had 1 in the last almost 27 holes, and they're only separated by 2 shots.
Rose is 1 birdie today over at the 7th, and we go over to the 10th. And you see the flag is blowing to the left, which is a danger zone where so many players end up down there in that pine straw. Lucas Glover. He hung this one out.
Yeah. Always easier said than done just to aim into the middle of the green than to hold it there, but with so much going on.
Nick, this is one of the many great ones here at Augusta. This 10th hole, 495 yards. The original design by Jones and McKenzie. The green was somewhere down there near that fairway bunker. But how did you attempt to play this one?
Well, there's the famous power slot which I showed you, and I managed to hang it up on top of the hill twice in my playoffs in not the optimum position, but you try and hit a full draw. This is the one you really do get rewarded for hitting a good draw around the corner. You get an extra 30 yards or more of run. And then the second shot, really, it is elevated at the front of the green, which makes it so difficult. So middle of the green is fabulous on that one.
Justin Rose made his par over at the 9th, and right next door at the 18th. Phil Mickelson coming home.
Well, has an opportunity with the pin on the back left corner, can use the ridge in front of it to slow it down. Just see, trying to play a little punch.
Come on, honey.
Middle of the green, hop up.
He loves it in flight, and he should. Oh!
Good call, Phil.
Certainly dazzled those encircling the 18th.
good piece of the cup. Now let's go over to 14 and Tiger with a long birdie putt.
And this one through the week has been very slow. Coming slightly up the hill, probably slightly into the grain. There we go. As Pete Costas described, the low point on this golf course is exactly on the 12th green. And we're studying this, and a lot of putts do tend to want to pull to all that, to the low point.
Over to 8.
And long birdie putts for Vaughn Taylor and Jerry Kelly. Uphill all the way. Looks as if it's going to break a little right to left. How quickly Justin Rose's pitch shot spun down the hill there. Going to 18.
And the appreciation for the 2004 and 2006 winner. Tiger made his par over at the 14th. And you see it's Phil's 15th appearance, his first round here in competition. You know who he played with, Nick? You.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm
Look
everywhere.
how close he came to make an eagle at 18.
Just a half an inch. I don't think he could see. He couldn't see. He was going on what he could hear from the crowd.
It's so uphill, it's impossible for him to see that the ball actually...
It's a good 20, 25 feet uphill.
Just listening and thinking maybe it had a shot, and it did. Let's go to 8.
And Jerry Kelly, well left on his approach shot, bangs it in for a par. Just a par, par 5. Standing on the tee, you're thinking I can get to even par with a birdie here, but playing difficult today. Right to left break now for Vaughn Taylor. And a third at Bay Hill just a few weeks ago on the Palmer's tournament. Playing nicely. 2 over par today. To 10.
And this one certainly will test you. Lucas Glover's 3rd at the 10.
It's nearly a 40-yard bunker shot, and he's no way fancied that one. You have to be extremely brave to land that, 20 feet short of the pin and try and put some spin on it.
I mentioned his long-time appreciation for this tournament. The first time he attended Augusta was when his grandfather took him when he was 6 years old. It was 1986, Jack's year. He would go every year after that on this day, Saturday, watch the players tee off, then drive home and watch the telecast. Mickelson trying to do something that's only been accomplished once today, and that's a birdie at 18. Lee Westwood, the only one so far with a 3. Now you wonder here, Nick, who knows where the lead score will be at day's end. He's at 6 right now, plus 6. Plus 5 or 6. You give him a shot tomorrow when he tees off. Could he have a go at it, you think?
Well, very much. As we know, I managed to pull off half a dozen, which we all know about against Greg. But my first 2 victories, I was actually 5 back when I stood on the 11th green on the last day. So.
For Phil, it might not be so much the margin as it is the number of bodies that he has in front of him.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I really wouldn't. It's the shots.
Currently in a tie for 19th. And we'll have this putt for a round of 72, which would be superb in these conditions.
And as Pete Costas was saying earlier, the guys have had to deal with the frustration here. At times it feels you feel so down. Wow, I'm 6 over, I'm 7 over par for the tournament. But you've got to remember, wow, I'm actually still in it. It's kind of like you've got to forget the score and Let's just add them up at the end of the week. If you can stay positive and focused and not...
Well, Lucas Glover, we hear, made his bogey at 10. Unable to hold the putt after coming out of the bunker.
And we've seen it's amazing, just that one. If you have 7 over, you just get back to 6 or to 5. Oh, what a wonderful boost that is to you. I feel really grinding on this line. Obviously very difficult. We came out of the first 2 feet. It's like a little saucer on the back of this green where it slopes up and completely influenced the putt before I had a chance to get it near the hole.
He scares a 2 and never threatens a 3. And shoots 73. He has been grinding since, well, everyone has really, but his first few holes of this tournament were really shaky. And he's been trying to bounce back from that ever since.
I felt very confident heading into last year's Masters because I felt I had a good game plan, a good strategy to get it done.
8 under par. Mickelson by 4.
It was just fabulous. It was just the coolest feeling to see the bunker on 18, to see the gallery on left and right, and to have that 150-yard walk up that hill knowing that I had the Masters in hand. It was just, it was the best feeling I've had in the game.
There was Tiger to put the green jacket on his shoulders, and he's been going back and forth with that now for several years. As I said in the Open here today, it's starting to kind of look like Jack and Arnie back in the 60s when they won 7 out of 9. And out to the play at the 11th.
Stuart Applebee's second shot now, 200 yards.
Leave it alone.
No problems, middle of the green, 25 feet left of the hole, putting up the hill back into the breeze. A lot of Australians before him have had a go at this tournament as we head to 15.
Tiger. Good looking swing. Needs a big one to get here in 2. Didn't get a whole lot out of that. That'll be in the decision zone. Firethorn, 530 yards. New trees down the right there, much narrower. You need to hit it into that gap, and the flag right on the front left today, into the wind. A very, very difficult green to hit. Quite often reachable, but still difficult to hit. Look how narrow it is there on the left-hand side. That's where the flag is. We'll go back to the 10th.
Justin Rose attacking the 10th.
Isn't it amazing they play for the short, the first half of the green, and then it doesn't release, leaving the Crenshaw putt.
Over to 8.
And a familiar sight. A long birdie attempt at this par 5 8th. Tim Clark. As we said earlier, tough competitor, not about to give up just because he's had a struggle over the opening few holes.
And at 15, Tiger has unsheathed his weapon.
Didn't leave any of it on the ground. Didn't leave any of it on the ground.
The 5 wood. Oh, right on the front edge. And that's the long putt. But it's much easier from the front than it is from the back. 2 putts from there, and he is back to even par. I don't know, Nick. This has the feeling of it's sort of eerie. There's a relentless march going on here towards what seems might be inevitable. 4 times a champion, 97, 2001, 2002, 2005, 1 out of 3 4-time champions, finished in the top 5 of the last 7 years, and he is well on his way again. A birdie here puts him a shot behind Stuart Applebee. He gets his nose in front. Very, very few people have ever been able to get past him. And right here, this is the place he wants it more than anywhere else.
I couldn't agree more, David, as we head over to Stuart Applebee's putt for birdie here at 11. His fellow competitor Bradley Dredge just holed one from the other side of the green to get to 2 over par. He's playing along nicely, the 33-year-old Welshman. But Stuart did what you would expect here. Just leave it just under the hole. Just don't be too aggressive. I was saying before that many Australians have tried to win a green jacket in the previous 70 playings of the Masters tournament, but we've had 6 second-place finishes. Jim Ferrier was the first to do it in 50. Bruce Crampton, the unlucky Australian, with 4 second-place finishes in majors in 72. Jack Newton in 80. And Greg Norman, of course, 3 times. Maybe this could be the year for the Australians. Nice smooth little tap in there for a 4. This is the start of Amen Corner. Protect, you lead. 4 at 11 is a very good start to it. Now you've got to choose the right club at 12. Only 2 players in red figures today. Retief Goosen shot 70 earlier, and Stuart Applebee now 2 under par in his round. This was the putt I mentioned from off the fringe for Bradley Dredge. Ooh, little bonus there. Might have been 12 feet by if it had missed. He came in as 50th on the world rankings. The top 50 players in the world are invited here. They were waiting anxiously towards the end of last season for that invitation. And Stuart Applebee, the lone man in red at the top. Back to 10.
And we got Rose. You mentioned that top 50. He made it right at 50 for the end of 2006 by 1/100th of a point ahead of Rose. And Rose had to qualify here after the start of the 07 season with some fine play once they went back to the top 50 for a second qualifying period. But Dredge had edged him out at the end of 06, barely. Here they both are contending. At the 9th, we got Jerry Kelly.
As we've seen, Jerry's great with his body English. All sorts of, oh, what a fabulous shot.
Well, it works.
Sure, you've got to help it as much as you can. Look at it.
Just like the putt at 7.
It's got the synchronized twitches for a positive, in a positive fashion.
Well, here's Vaughn Taylor in an ideal position off the tee. Without a birdie so far. Open with bogey at 1, bogey the 6th. And will it stay up? I'm afraid not. Too bad. Well, the day here began with 2 tied. Tim Clark and Brett Wederick. They vanished early from the chase with some rather monumental miscues at the start of this round, and it's been played in absolutely frigid temperatures by Augusta springtime standards. A wind chill now of 45 and clear skies. We have not really had a drop of rain here since midweek, so the greens have certainly firmed up and menaced these great players. This one leads them all at the moment. Stuart Applebee on the tee at 12. Ian Baker Finch.
Thank you, Jim. He's got the 8 iron, and the advantage he has here is that he's watched Bradley Dredge, having made his birdie at 11, go before him. Just a nice smooth 8. Safe. Bradley Dredge got a little gust of wind back into him when he played, and the ball stopped dead next to the hole. 2 excellent shots. Let's just check this one out. The wind swirls down here so much. It's pot luck through the air. You're sort of praying as it's going. Hope that the wind stays in the direction you hoped it was in when you took the club back. And both players with 8 irons there. Excellent play. And they walk slightly down the hill here towards Rays Creek, and they walk across the famous Hogan Bridge. One of 3 bridges dedicated to Masters champions here at Augusta. This one dedicated in 1958, April the 2nd, start of the Masters tournament that year. To commemorate Ben Hogan, the great man, his 4 rounds of 70, 69, 66, 79 for a 274 total in 1953. That was the record back at that time. The Hogan Bridge crossing Rays Creek in front of 12 green.
Ben Hogan won 2 green jackets, his first coming in 1951. Realizing he needed only bogey on the final hole to win, Hogan intentionally laid up, then got up and down for par, completing a bogey-free round to win by 2. In 1953, Hogan broke the Masters tournament scoring record by 5 strokes, shooting 14 under par 274, a record that held for 12 years. Tiger has a chance to inch closer at the 15th, but first over at 9, we have Vaughn Taylor for birdie, Nick.
Coming up the hill, up the ridge, we saw him perilously close, very difficult to judge. Any putt coming up the hill, you know you just hit it fractionally too hard, you're going to face a 4-footer back. Anyway, down to number 12.
Only 6 birdies here so far today, 22 total for the week. 5th hardest hole on the course, averaging 3.4. For such a short hole, Nick, it's been a great one over the years. A tough one. Can't believe it, but a beautiful little shot. Nice little bump and run. You have to play shots like that when you play these firm, fast greens. And the Victorians especially, like Stuart Applebee, Robert Allenby, Jeff Ogilvy, they have to play those shots on the famous sandbelt courses of Melbourne. Stuart grew up playing pennants at Yarra Yarra with Robert Allenby, of course, with great greens as we go back to 10.
And Rose needing this for par. His first memory of the Masters as a young boy, he says, is watching, quote, Faldo dumbstruck when the putt went in for the win at 11. 1989. Here we go with Kelly after the great second shot. Makes the most of it with birdie, and he's back to even. So birdie for Kelly. Rose makes bogey over at 10 just before Kelly. Vaughn Taylor with a very big mistake.
Well, that you're right, Jim. It is after playing such a fine second shot, it's amazing. It just doesn't quite come off in any unforced error.
15.
Well, Tiger has had the longest look at this putt I think I've seen him take at any putt for a very long time. Vaughn Taylor did make that little putt. And, well, this is one, Nick, where with the wind from the right and from behind here, I mean, he could put this clean off the other edge of the green. And there's also a spot, you know, if he gets it too far high up on the right, it'll actually break the other way toward the end. It'll break toward the right edge of the green. So it's extremely difficult to get it on the right line. And, well, the pace is just you need that soft touch in your hands. And he is a wonderful long putter.
You're right there, David. It's about 10 paces in front of him, There's an extremely fast right to left break there, and you get that, as you said, a little bit on the low side. You'd miss the green left, because I've done it before. But Tiger's eyeing it very high. Obviously, the first bit going uphill was taking maybe a little bit more of the sting out of it that he wanted. And very much like Phil Mickelson, leaves it woefully short.
And that is a very difficult putt to read. It's extremely close to straight. This was earlier at 12.
Bradley Dredge could knock this in and get to second place. One of his better putts. Started the day at 1 over. His par here at 12 will be just 1 over for his round, 2 over total, and that's in a tie for 4th place. Very nicely done indeed for the Masters rookie, one of 18 rookies this year. Back at 10.
Vijay Singh. Not all that bad here at 10, given what we've seen from others, but Vijay not able to get anything going to this point. 3 over for the day, out in 39, and let's go to 13.
Going with an aggressive play, going to the right-hand side of the tee, using the driver. Stuart Applebee challenging this tee shot. Looking anxiously, but that is just fine right now. That is beautifully done. And let's go down to Bill McAtee.
All right, Peter, thank you very much with Phil Mickelson. And what were the conditions like out there today?
As tough as I've seen, but I actually thought that it wasn't as hard as it could have been because some water was put on the greens and the balls were somewhat receptive, certainly early on in the round.
Did you come out today with sort of a sense of what you felt the lead might be at the end of the round?
I felt like it was going to be over par. I know over par is going to be the winning score. You just have to try to get to about 2 or 3 over somehow, which is going to be a tough task tomorrow where I'm at 6 over, but it's certainly not impossible.
You took a little extra time in the scorer's cabin. What were you doing in there?
I was just trying to see where I was, what position, and about how many back I was going to be and what I was going to need to shoot tomorrow. Just try to kind of gather a little game plan tonight for going into the final round.
And do these conditions allow you to be as aggressive as you might ordinarily be in the course setup as well?
Well, it's tough to be aggressive at all today, but with these conditions, you have to be patient on what holes you can make birdie, and because there's probably 12 or 13 holes you just want to make par, and then there's 5 or 6 you may be able to get at the pin and make birdie.
All right, Phil, 73 today. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Bill.
Let's go back to Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Bill. Phil says he knows the winning score is going to be over par. And this was his 3rd shot over at the 2nd. After an opening par, knowing he had to try to make up ground today, and that was a beauty. He would go on to make that. And this putt for par at 5, a ticklish one. One that he could not negotiate. And at 12. Still even for the day at this time. And that shot wide of the mark would lead to bogey. However, at 14, perhaps his best effort of the day. Leading to what, even to this point, the only birdie of the day yielded. The 14th, but at 16, let's not forget he 3-putted at 15, after knocking it on in 2, and he missed it off the tee here, just where you can't afford to do it. No chance really from that bunker with that back right hole location today. Led to another bogey. Then he tried to get 2 back with this swing at the 18th, knocking it down.
You're right.
Come on, honey.
The putt from there, unable to drop it, was resting on a little knuckle. Difficult to figure, and let's go out to the 15th.
We saw Mickelson miss this one to the right. This was earlier, and well, I mean, that one completely misread. And that will be his first 3-putt of the week as we go straight to 16.
And that means he is in 3rd place behind Stuart Applebee and Jerry Kelly. Kelly at even par now. And Tiger Woods on the tee. The hole, as Jim mentioned, back right up on a little plateau. 1 birdie today. Oh, this could be really a tough putt if this gathers and goes down the hill. Well, he's got enough pace on it that it won't have a terrible break, but uphill all the way. That's almost the neighborhood from which Phil Mickelson bogeyed the hole. Let's go back to 10.
And VJ. That's a good one. It's a real good one. Maybe he can do something with the par 5s on this side, Nick, and climb a little closer after an uneventful first 9 here. And to 13.
Where our leader, Stuart Applebee, and his fellow competitor Bradley Dredge are waiting as the grounds crew is blowing off the debris up by the green, and it is getting chilly. Applebee has over 250 yards left. This will be a layup. Trying to put himself in good position to give himself a good angle to this plateau back left hole location. And Nick, you know Tiger has to be thinking, I think you were the last one in '89 to win the Masters, not coming from the last group. So you know Tiger has to be trying to position himself to get in that grouping with Stuart Applebee if he in fact retains this lead.
You're right, Peter. I had a distinction doing it twice, 89 and 90.
And that's nicely done. He's giving himself a good angle, although he got pretty far up there. So he'll pretty much have to play a pitch and run and try to run it up the slope. I'm not sure he can get enough spin from that close to the green to fly it up on the back plateau and keep it there. Let's go back to 12.
Lucas Glover from behind and left of the flag. Nice little approach there. He's got a good game for these types of conditions. Hits the ball a long way. It's a good putter. Hits the ball low under the wind. And doing nicely here. Back at 10.
Jerry Kelly. A little bit forgotten here with all the buzz about Tiger's performance and Applebee leading, but Jerry Kelly, some outstanding work here today, including that birdie at 9.
He lays the club off considerably on the backswing and has to have that big rotation over with his right forearm to trying to get the face back to square.
Jerry Kelly competing in his 5th Masters. He's made the cut every time. 5 for 5. And he's 1 off the lead and 1 in front of Woods in round 3 at Augusta. Mickelson nearly holding it from the fairway at 18. Applebee with birdies at 2, 3, and 4, seizing the lead here. And Tiger
with his first 3-putt of the week, unable to inch a little closer. He's 2 back on another gusty day in Augusta. For more live Masters coverage tomorrow, go to masters.org and CBS Sportsline for Amen Corner Live beginning at 12:30 with Masters Extra at 1:30. Tomorrow it's expected to reach a high of 62, which means in the end Thursday will be the warmest day of the week, and we failed to reach 70 even then. But it will be clear once more. Interesting comment from Phil Mickelson, observing that they threw enough water on the greens overnight here that wasn't as lightning fast as he kind of anticipated it would be, Nick.
I think mainly in stopping the ball. I think he's referring to that. At least which is great to give the players a chance to control their second shots. With this extremely cold weather, it would have made it just short of impossible.
Applebee 1 under, laying up at the 13th. Kelly on the green at 10. Tiger with a long putt, just looking for 2 putts at 16. And we go back out to Peter Kostis at 13.
Where Bradley Dredge from 225 yards just moments ago elected to challenge this second shot, and he found the tributary to Rays Creek. So he will be taking his drop, and now live we have Stuart Applebee. Just a little pitch and run. The key here is if he's going to bring it in low, he has to take the spin off. If he gets too much spin, it just will not climb that slope. It's right on the edge. No, it will not stay. So close to being 10 feet for birdie. And now he's got it over 45 feet away. That's the margin for error that you have here at Augusta. Look at the scoring average for this year. Well, since the changes were made in 2002 and 2004, we've never played this golf course firm and fast, so you don't really know the effect those changes were going to have. I know it's difficult to accept that when it plays fast, it's going to be more difficult for you at home because you think the golf course is going to play shorter, but it is much more difficult. Let's go to 16.
And a moment ago, Tiger Woods uphill from 60 feet. Leaves himself 6 feet. Now we're back live. Paul Casey, his fellow competitor, put it in the bunker. Couldn't hold the ridge and was down below Tiger. See his ball mark right in front of Tiger's ball, but Casey will be putting for bogey. This is for par. He's made another. 5 to 10 feet. He's as good as it gets. And he stays at +1, 2 off the lead. Only 3 players under par. Retief Goosen in the clubhouse very early with a round of 70. Woods and Applebee. Applebee actually had 3 birdies in succession, 2, 3, and 4. Back to 12.
Justin Rose just made a 7-footer for par to remain 2 over for the championship at 11. Now playing here at the par 3. Calm right now. Club of choice, 8-iron, like last 10 players before him. Excellent shot, just right of the hole. It's the safe side today. Big enough club to get there, a little right of the pin. Amen corner this week for Justin Rose. Pars at 13, pars here at 12, and all pars at 11. That is absolutely perfect. Playing in his third Masters. Australian MasterCard Masters champion from this year. We'll go to 13.
Where Stuart Applebee now is ready for his birdie putt, which will be slow coming up the slope. And it's hard to convince yourself just how firmly you must hit this putt. No, that was beautifully judged. Just perfect weight to that putt. I know he'll be disappointed with this third shot that resulted in this 5, but there have been worse here. Par 5 at 13 for our leader, Stuart Applebee. He remains the only player under par. Let's go back to 10.
Jerry Kelly.
Looks like he's, yeah, it's all beef in that one, and that's gone.
Former hockey player. Not too much of a slap shot that time. And let's go back to 13.
This was earlier Bradley Dredge after his drop. Took it out a little bit farther to the left where there's a little more room to play with. And he'll have that left for par. Back to 10.
And Kelly, the one coming back for par.
It's typical. He hit one too far. The next one not hard enough. And we get some plenty of reaction out of him.
Interesting to see. He's in short sleeves. Looks like he's got a couple of layers on. All the players adapt, of course, the Wisconsin man, so this is not anything he can't handle. 17.
Tiger on the tee, uphill tee shot.
Ah, damn it!
Wind behind.
Par!
Let's see, wind behind. It's a fairly easy hole location, but left side, it's not easy from there. To 13.
For par, Bradley Dredge. No, it will not break that much. So an unforced error on his second shot. Finding the hazard, and Bradley Dredge will make bogey here at 13. Par 5s that normally the players must take advantage of. So far today, they haven't.
Well, it's Saturday afternoon, and it's about the same chill we had Thursday morning when four-time winner Arnold Palmer got the tournament underway. Got the tournament started. The ceremonial first shot. A four-time winner of the Masters. And we're at the 14th with Applebee, the leader, by 2 on the tee.
They're right. They're right.
Spit it out, he says.
Yeah, he pulled that too much right hand, crossed the. And that will make life very difficult at 14, especially that pin on the left-hand side.
To 12.
Justin Rose for birdie. Has he got it high enough? Yes. Well, he only had 20 putts in the first 18 holes for his 69. 30 yesterday and again today, putting beautifully. Great 2 at 12 as we go to 17.
And Tiger having to maneuver around trees again. He's only got 128 yards. I think if he's looking left, going to try and hit a high slice with the wind. He's mostly been dead behind this hole. Look at that follow through. A vicious opening of the club face. Very brave people down the left.
Just be real still after the shot, please.
Nick, this looks like an extreme cut coming up.
Which is just about impossible. I mean, off a dry lie with a very lofted club, I think he's going to try and go long, Peter. Get it around the scoreboard over there. You can see in the corner of the picture, and look where he's aiming. Where are those people? My goodness! It's just that way. Well, it's Tiger. It's fine, no problem. Wow! Oh boy!
It's not funny, really. It's dangerous. Wind's helping. Wind's helping. He's got a slope from the left. If he can get it pin high left.
It's been quiet now.
No sign of it. Can't see it around the green.
And even that's very dangerous because it leaves him top side if it doesn't come off. And obviously Tiger's furious with that one.
Oh. This was absolutely... Go ahead, Nick.
This is, I can't analyse this follow through because nobody else can do this in the world. You need so much strength to kind of like scoop it. That's like the old Seve finish when he knew it was going left. Seve used to do that with his driver. So Dave Cannon has got a few beautiful pictures of that, I know. So Tiger's not impressed. He's going to have a little chat with himself.
There's Tiger's move up the leaderboard, 5 back after the second round. And now 2 behind, but in trouble at 17. He had a very disappointing finish to his first round. Bogey finish. He was livid. He'd been grinding it out all day and then threw it away. Doesn't want the same to happen today. At 13 now.
Where we have Justin Rose on the tee going with a fairway wood. Electing to use the left side of the tee to play away from the hazard down the left side. Just trying to keep it short of the second cut, and he has done that nicely. And Nick Faldo, I have to wonder, did Tiger lose his patience back there for just a second? You think?
A millisecond.
Yeah.
Yes, Peter. But then he gathers himself better than anybody else. Now, this is very interesting, is it? Crash the bag.
He's actually done quite well. Well, he's crashed the club into the bag, which may indicate he's got a plug lie in the bunker. But the bunker was a pretty good result considering what we were looking at.
But there's no room, Peter, is there? It's all downhill.
All downhill.
To that flag.
He's muttering away.
Yeah, when a player starts looking left and right, that means he's got a poor lie, so bad rather that he can't play for the pin. He's just going to have to look for the sensible option, and probably left is the one, because if it all goes wrong, at least you're chipping back up the hill.
Of course, the moral of the story is if he'd found the fairway, he wouldn't have had to battle with this bunker.
Well, I agree. I mean, the pine trees are very penal here. I mean, that's what it's meant to be. I mean, Tiger gets away with murder just about 90% of the time, but not here at Augusta.
I think he's trying to hit the pin.
Yeah, you're right. That's the third option.
But frustrated. He's been grinding all day. Things are going pretty well. 3 putts at the 15th, having found that green in 2. That was frustrating. And in danger of bogeying this hole. So a hole that's playing 440 on the card. The tees are up a little bit. Downwind. If he'd hit a good tee shot, he would have had a sandwich for his second shot. Let's go to 11.
Jerry Kelly second from the second cut. Boy, little body English there, a little high right shoulder, trying to get it to hook off the mound. Oh, not too much. Be careful. It's okay. We've seen that a lot today, Nick. Long irons coming in here, coming off those big mounds just short of the green.
At least he enjoys himself. It's
He
great.
certainly does. 14.
Stuart Applebee.
Well, he may have got a... Obviously, he must have gone through the pines, but he's got a very difficult angle. Oh, managed to... Yeah, he landed just on the downslope where Mickelson got just 2 paces further up and over the green, but at least it's all back uphill to the flag, so should be able to get that up and down.
And back to 17.
Reminiscent of round 1, where Tiger had battled and battled and battled. He was 1 under par through 16 holes. He'd been all over the place struggling, and then he went bogey, bogey, and was livid. So an important putt for him here. Tied for second with Jerry Kelly, Justin Rose, 2 behind Stuart Applebee. He hit a good putt. An untimely bogey. Look at the scorecard. Just grinding away. Tiger on the move. Follows the bogey at 12 with the birdie at 13. He made a good stroke. In the third round, shots dropped make a big difference as players start tomorrow. Now to 12.
2000 champion Vijay Singh at the par 3. 8 iron.
That didn't sound good to me.
Didn't, Nick, did it? It was a lazy swing.
You spoke earlier about
13 again. Quick.
Lucas Glover now for birdie up the slope. Ooh, that's got some pace to it. Ooh. Trying to be aggressive and getting it up the hill. He's now left himself with a strong 6-footer to save his par here at 13. Conditions just as brutal as they've been all day long. Stuart Applebee, the only player under par.
The third round at the Masters, and a change at the top happened early. Stuart Applebee making a run at becoming the first Australian to ever win the green jacket. He leads by 2 over Jerry Kelly and Justin Rose. Tiger fresh off a bogey at 17 when this shot right here failed to find its way back to the green, led to a bogey. 1 hole to play. He's now +2. And we go back out to the play at 13.
Padraig Harrington to get to +3. And after opening with a 77, he's trying to take Craig Stadler's mantle away. In 82, Craig Stadler shot 75, the highest opening round by a Masters champion. And this was Jeff Ogilvy a few moments ago. He came through here, and this for eagle, but his second shot rolled inches by the cup, almost making a double eagle to an albatross. And that's how quickly things can change here. Let's go to 14.
And now Applebee from behind the green, but as you said, Nick, it's uphill.
Should be able to control that. There you go. Oh, no, little bit steamy.
Don't want to leave that one coming back. He's parred every hole from 8 on. As he took the lead. Australian champions, well, the British Open, of course, Peter Thompson headlining the way. 2 by Greg Norman. Steve Elkington, the PGA at Riviera, 1 of 4 down under. Jeff Ogilvy, the winner at Wingfoot. And never a Masters champion from Australia.
It actually is very surprising because we've been talking earlier. It's very much what they play in Melbourne, the fabulous sand belt.
Peter Costas.
Well, that is an unfortunate 3-putt bogey for Lucas Glover. If he puts this one in at 13. You can see the disgust on the players' faces, and they know it. They know when they've lost their patience. They know when they force the issue. And if you're going to try and force the issue, you better pull off the shot. Back to 14.
And Dredge at 14. We had it close for birdie at 12, failed to make it. Then Water at 13. And Dredge, that's a par. Registered at the 14th. It's a +3. On the tee at 18. Tee shot got away from him on the previous hole, leading to the bogey. Let's see what he does here. He likes that swing a whole lot more.
Quite amazing when he really needs it. He's able to make it happen.
He spent some time this week already on the trees right, but that one perfection. Let's go to 12.
And VJ for bogey. Had to go well to the right, about 80 yards or so for his 3rd shot. A disappointing effort there for VJ. Yeah, I'll throw that one in the water too. Let's have another one. Earlier at 14.
For par. Oh, curls it in too from the high side. Applebee has a record here at Augusta, Nick. He has the longest stretch of holes in the Masters tournament history without a bogey. Back in 2001, he went 50 holes without a bogey, breaking Ben Hogan's mark of 43 consecutive. Back in 47, let's go to 15.
And Ogilvy, who laid up his 3rd shot. Oh. Well, it's laid up again. And that won't help. So I imagine he'll just go ahead and play the same shot over again. This was earlier at 11.
We saw Jerry Kelly come up with the kick off the bank to here, putt up the hill. Very popular spot there today. 5 Masters appearances, 5 cuts. He's in a very good place at the moment. He's been talking to a friend of his that's a rifle shooter, an Olympic gold medalist. He's been working very hard on his attitude, and let's head back to 15.
Will be now. Take 2. This is his 5th shot now, though. Stay. Okay, well, we're going to be trying that again. This happens every year to somebody. Right here at 15, it just catches them out. Go back to 11.
And Jerry Kelly for par. Everyone's been making that putt. Just comes up dead straight up the hill for the 2nd. 1 over today, 1 over total. And a tie for 2nd, just 1 behind Stuart, or 2 behind, excuse me, Stuart Applebee. Justin Rose.
Just inside of 100 yards. Side hill, downhill slope, the 3rd shot for Justin. Trying to bring it in low and hoping to skip it back there. Well, old school style would be play that with an 8 or a 9 iron, believe it or not, and take the spin off. But you try and knock down a 52 to 54 degree wedge, you're going to get too much spin with this equipment. Doesn't get it back there. Let's go back to 12.
Players taking their time here on the tee once again, Peter, trying to figure out what the wind's doing. Jerry Kelly having a number of practice swings, trying to warm up.
Okay.
One of the things I notice here, Nick, they're always looking at that flag at 11.
Yeah, you made a very good point earlier on. It's not so much the club, it's the trajectory. You want to copy. If your partner here plays, the perfect trajectory, you want to copy that. Not so much what club he hits, because obviously we're all slightly different. But trust what you've just seen. It looks like he's this right shoulder, this roping over. Oh.
Well, that's not so bad. It's down the bunker.
You must like these short bunker shots. I didn't.
I don't mind them, especially if they stay on the upslope like that. And these bunkers are perfect. 15.
Applebee's tee shot.
Touch it. Come on. Another one.
Okay, well, we'll be laying up from there, I would imagine. He has a little more success than the Australian Jeff Applebee in front, who's just made a 9, which really did some damage. He was only 3 over. He's gone to 7. You can see what, just blew himself clean out of it. But all of these guys here are in with a chance as we go up to 18.
And Tiger.
From 154 yards. Oh, Tiger completely. That's when he fans it open on the backswing and gets that. Or maybe the wind got him. I might give him a break on that one. You saw his sweater sleeves really rustling there when he played that shot.
15.
Well, Applebee now, really, you want to try to get it down the right-hand side with the layup. Give yourself a little bit more of an angle. Actually, Ogilvy was in a good spot. That one's more down the left. It gives him less green to work with. And really, just a terrifying sand wedge shot from there. Virtually no green to work with. And what there is hard as a tabletop. We'll go back to the 13th.
Justin Rose now. We've seen this putt so many times today. Up about a 2.5, 3-foot ridge. Flattens out for birdie. Well, good speed. The issue with this hole would be his third shot. Trying to bring it in low and skip it back there, and just had too much spin, couldn't quite get it back on the upper plateau. +1 for the tournament, +1 today, and I'll tell you what, +1 is a very good score today. Back to 12.
And the little bunker shot for Jerry Kelly. It's lying nicely. Oh, way to go at it. That one a little earlier. 6 foot left for his par. And they learned a number of those short game shots from a coach down in Jupiter Hills in Florida, Bill Davis. His name is a short game guru. It's the man that can be given the credit for Jerry Kelly's short game and his ability around the greens. Wonderful imagination. Playing alongside Jerry Kelly, the local Vaughn Taylor. His approach came up here. The wind gusted from the right and knocked it down to the left. The whole location today right in the middle of the green. Quickly over to 18.
After his biggest miss of the day, it's Tiger's third shot.
It'll be very difficult to find a flat spot to land this. Right by the bunker, there's a lovely view. He can't see the contours of the green. He's going to have to land this, I think, just on a little bit of downslope. That will scoot it forward, might help, obviously, then come up the ridge to the pin. Yep, right there. Even Tiger, there wasn't enough room.
He's got that tricky one that Mickelson had for birdie and was confounded by that back portion of the green. And a ball raised on a little back knuckle. This is over 12.
Just a little earlier while Tiger was hitting that shot. Vaughn Taylor. Nice Nicely done, just lagged it up there nice and close. Playing his second Masters, used to work the area, went to school in the area as well. Huge crowds from the area following him around. Jerry Kelly now, this left for his par. You can see the wind really howling around down in the corner here, Nick. You can see the water changing direction, the shimmering of the water changing as the wind gusts. Very difficult shot down here in Amen Corner as we go back to 18.
Here at 18, Tiger looking at this one, remaining for a par.
As you said, Jim, we get a good bird's eye view of Phil Mickelson having a go at this, and it broke hard right to left, so slightly different, probably about one pace further over to the left, so maybe it still will react the same. So a right edge putt, which would be probably tough to believe.
Trying to avoid the same finish that frustrated him so much on Thursday when he went bogey 17 and 18. Walked off and openly expressed his anger for what he said was throwing away a good round.
I agree. You've used up so much emotional energy today to just hang in there at all costs and just to prevent yourself from getting frustrated or furious or impatient. Deal with each shot one at a time. Anyway, this for a 4. Like Phil's, it goes left.
And drop back to 3 over. It's around a 72. You know, he had a chance, it looked like, to get in, of course, so early and be the first to post, maybe a +1 total, and get into that last pairing. We still don't know how it's going to work out for those in front of him, but something that was expressed earlier. The winner of the Masters tournament has come out of the final pairing every year since 1991. And maybe that bogey will keep him out of the last pairing tomorrow. We'll see how they close, including the group over at 15 right now.
And Stuart Applebee changing sandwich there with Joe Damiano. A little more breeze into him here, and the spin just a major factor here. You've got to be very careful. If he lets the ball get up in the air and lands it too softly, he can back it up into the water.
Just got a good solid one of that tree. So it's another 5 to the back.
David, it's just so easy to have a peek at this one, isn't it? You've got to just stay down and, I mean, really stay down. Watch your divot. I found this one, you know, you easy just lift your head a fraction, hit it just an 1/8 of an inch fat, and the ball just won't carry.
Well, he's driven that in fairly high.
Fight.
Oh, nicely done. That's a beautiful shot. Landed it right on the back slope. Didn't take too big a bounce, and just enough check on it. Back to the 12th.
And Jerry Kelly changed his putter 3 or 4 weeks ago to a blade style putter, so he could feel the putter face open and close a little better, but you could see there that didn't work the way he wanted it to. It'll be a bogey 4 for Jerry Kelly. And with Vaughn Taylor there with a tap in left for his par, they'll both go to the next in a tie for 3rd at 2 over par. Just one leading the way at 1 under par, Stuart Applebee. Justin Rose a couple behind at 1 over, but the scoring here today as tough as it's ever been. Over 77 average around Augusta National Saturday afternoon. Retief Goosen went out early this morning and shot a 70, the only player with a 70.
More live Masters coverage tomorrow at Masters.org and CBS Sports Line. Amen Corner Live beginning at 12:30 and Masters Extra at 1:30. Tiger, identical finish to Thursday. He studies the leaderboard, closes with a pair of bogeys, He's 4 off the lead. Tomorrow he'll go for his 13th professional major. We're back here at Augusta National Golf Club. I mentioned the 13 professional majors. That's what Tiger will be going for tomorrow. That would be the same number as Bobby Jones in his configuration of major championships in his time. And Jack Nicklaus won his 13th, in fact, right here on the Augusta soil in '75. Let's go to Bill McAtee with Tiger.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Bogey finished. Does it feel like it did on Thursday, that you let a good round get away from you?
Yeah, and then some.
In a day like today, do you change your philosophy, change your expectations, or are you playing as much the leaderboard as you are the golf course?
Quite frankly, I didn't really look at leaderboards today. I was just out there plodding along. I had enough things to worry about out there today with the wind and these greens. It's one of the hardest rounds I think we've ever played here.
What are the concessions that you have to make to the setup and to the conditions?
Well, you know, if you make 18 pars, you're going to move up that board. Around here, that's normally not the case. Usually you get you're going to usually fall and lose ground there, but not today.
All right, Tiger, thanks for stopping by and being with us. Good luck tomorrow. Let's go back to Jim Nantz and Nick Faldo.
Thank you, Bill, and certainly the frustration written all over his face, and it certainly appears he's not going to have the lead going into the final round, which is something you pointed out significant in Tiger's case with major championships, Nick.
Well, he's won 12 majors and he's led every single one, and even more impressive that when he's had that lead, he hasn't even relinquished the lead, you know, any time. So, but he's going to do something different, isn't he?
Well, what about Stuart Applebee and the way he's held up here since taking the lead late on the first 9?
Well, I think they, you know, these guys, you can start to look at their faces now to see, you know, the temperament. Obviously, you've got a great example there of Jerry Carey, how emotional he gets. And this is a time, you know, when you're playing here on the back 9 of a major, you've got to have full control of your emotions. And so, you know, Stuart's doing a great job, and you know, he's judging the shots well. You've got to see it well. You've got to make great decisions, and you've got to execute it. And right now, he's doing all of that.
Let's go out to David Faraday at 15.
Just outside the left. Didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. That was tentative. It was a good chance to give him one more of a cushion. He's got 3 tough holes left. Difficult flag at 16 coming up. And Tiger, looking at that scoreboard, sees only one name, and that's his own.
And this is Justin Rose at the 14th.
Justin Rose doing incredibly well considering the rarity of his birdies today, well, and yesterday.
You think about the numbers that he added them up, it hardly made sense on Thursday. He hit 5 greens, shot 69. Of course, he had 20 putts, which is bizarre in its own way. Let's go to 12.
Tim Clark hitting second here after Brett Wederick. He's 4 over. Last shot of the day at the 12th, and it's a beauty. He has to really just maintain composure. He's 4 over par. He's not far off it. Could very well only be within 3 or 4 shots of the lead come the end of the day. But a tough day. Stuart Applebee there at 1 under par. Can he be the first Australian in 71 years at the Masters to put a green jacket on tomorrow afternoon? We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there's a lot of players and a lot of people back home in Australia watching with bated breath.
It has been anything but easy since day one, and the frustration is so clearly evident. In a time like this, all the things add up together, the self-control and discipline and patience, as everyone tries to get the best of it in the most difficult conditions we've seen in a long while. 289 is the all-time highest tournament winning score. It's been over a half-century since someone won it at that figure of +1. More live Masters coverage tomorrow. Go to masters.org and CBS Sports Line for Amen Corner Live beginning at 12:30. Masters Extra at 1:30. And we go back to the play at the 16th.
And the leader, Stuart Applebee, 1 under par, 6 iron. That has become a very familiar spot throughout the afternoon here at 16. And let's go back to 14.
This was earlier. Rose, long. 14th.
Had to try and he's misjudged that one poorly. Probably had a lot to do with the lie. They obviously didn't feel he could loft it onto the green because there probably was just about enough room.
Now live, the putt for par. Coming way out from the right side.
Yeah, that's when you start to feel you're trying to force it to the hole and you hit it just a fraction too firm, and it all gets magnified here on these magnificent surfaces.
Over to 15.
And let's keep a little eye on Padraig Harrington here, who is tied with Tiger Woods at the minute at +3. Over there on the left corner of the fairway. Similar shot to the one we saw Stuart Applebee just play. From a little farther back. And that's no good.
David got an upshooter.
Yeah, he did. He looked like he tried to play it high.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
Yeah,
wow.
I thought he might try and drive it in a little lower. As we go back to 14, see how Justin Rose is doing.
Yeah, he knows this one's going to bend, just watching it go past the hole. And it's a bogey, +2. How about these mistakes in the late going at 15? Ogilvy with a 9, Casey with an 8, and Harrington on his way to making a number.
Well, it's all that left-hand pin position. That's what is so difficult.
13.
Jerry Kelly trying to bring it in low, and it's like a broken record. So many before him. Too much spin, doesn't get up the ridge, leaves himself 30 feet short for birdie. Frustration only mounts as you stay out here in these conditions. Let's go back to 12.
And Tim Clark for birdie. Another early look. You've seen that so many times today with Tim Clark. Just hasn't been firing on all cylinders. Man who was runner-up here last year to Phil Mickelson. Struggling in the cold. 13.
Vaughn Taylor, his third shot. And I don't believe that'll stay either. That'll start to come back down. Years ago, you could lay up much farther down the fairway, Nick, and much more almost pin high and come in from that direction. And I think had an easier shot.
Yeah, I agree there. I tried this pitch quite a few times, and you've got to land it much closer to the bottom of that ridge because it's such a long ridge up to the peak of it. And that's where I think you think you're going to get a big, hard first bounce, which you probably do, but then on the second bounce, it checks right in the ridge, and that's why they don't get up. So I know I rehearsed that, Crumbs, that we had to come back and replay on the Sunday morning. Had to refinish our third round back in '89. I had exactly that shot to think about all night.
How well did you sleep?
Yeah, but I practiced it the night before and I executed it perfectly, and then I missed the 6-footer, so I was still furious.
Let's go back to 15.
Well, back up on the tee, Justin Rose. And the wind is howling here now. Perhaps what caught out Padraig Harrington and indeed Lucas Glover. He hit the same shot, but Justin Rose, no problem there. May have a chance to go at it as long as it's playing. I'd say that's probably 265 yards to the flagstick from there. Back at the 13th.
Jerry Kelly doing a little bit of housework here. So difficult to keep with this level of gusty conditions. The debris from the green just blowing off the trees guarding this hole. Of course, the rule was changed a couple of years ago, allowing players to do just what Jerry did, which is take the hat and brush off the green. It's completely allowed. And, you know, he's the type of competitor that you would expect to do well in these conditions. Maybe not the greatest skill set, but boy, he has heart. He has an ability to compete. There is no give up in him. Nick, what did you do? I mean, these conditions sap your energy level so much as the round unfolds. How did you keep your energy level up after you get to the last 4, 5, 6 holes?
Well, that's a very good point. I mean, actually, you do have to look after yourself. You've got to eat well, drink well out there, and but as you say, you'll burn so much energy if you're frustrated and you're getting impatient with you. So that's the most important. In a crazy way, you've got to enjoy what's going on, because you're really being tested. If you can really feel every shot is a real challenge, and not, oh, how the hell am I going to play this, and this is impossible. If you just keep one shot at a time, that will keep you going.
Well, this next shot is a 35-foot uphill birdie putt. And that is not dead. He has left himself a good solid 4 feet. Such an innocent looking hole. Certainly in conditions like today, you'd think 13 and 15 are holes that you must take advantage of if you're going to post a good number, and yet that hasn't been the case. The self-talk. Got to be kind to yourself. Now, Vaughn Taylor. Well, perhaps getting a little bit of an assist from Jerry Kelly's putt. Judged the speed beautifully on his. So he should make his 5. Let's go forward to 16.
Stuart Applebee has had a wait of some time. Vaughn Taylor made his 5. Bradley Dredge was in the bunker left, blasted short. 2-putted for a bogey. Now Applebee for birdie. Well done. Birdie 2, 3, and 4. Bogeyed 7. And he has strung together 8 straight pars from that point on. We go back to 13.
Jerry Kelly to keep from making his 3rd bogey out of 4 holes on the second 9. Well holed. Well holed. Started the day at level par, 2 over now for the tournament, and very much in this competition as we go back to 16.
And the 35-year-old Aussie to maintain a 3-shot lead. The only man in the field under par, Stuart Applebee, through 16, leads by 3 over Justin Rose, Jerry Kelly, Vaughn Taylor. You can see that after the second round, he was 3 back. At 3 o'clock, only 1 back. And then in subsequent half hours, a leader by 1, a leader by 2, and currently up by 3. Let's go to 15.
Ooh. And Justin Rose with a wood.
Hanging that. Wow.
Is he laying up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is laying up with that. Thank goodness for that. And that is an excellent layup over there in the corner. That gives him plenty of green to work with. A little more diagonally across and more time to slow the ball down. It just shows you how long this hole is playing.
David.
Yes.
This hole must be playing 100 yards longer today.
Oh, well, it's playing 5.32. And it is the 10th hardest hole in the golf course. And I certainly, in my 11 years here, I don't remember it being anything but, the first or second easiest. Applebee by 3 now over Justin Rose, Jerry Kelly, Vaughn Taylor. Tiger Woods just a shot further back. And here at 15, we've had a couple of 7s, an 8, a 9, and that's just in the last 2 or 3 groups. Such a beautiful beautiful view and really a dream of a place to play golf. And on a day like this, it's like being tortured by a beautiful woman. To 17.
And Stuart Applebee, this hole is playing downwind, looks as if sort of arm action. That was straight left off the tee. Might have even crashed into trees before reaching the Eisenhower tree. And let's look at Nandina, 17. Eisenhower tree juts out at 190 yards off the tee. I think Stuart might have hit trees even before that. Uphill quite sharply after the tree. Then the further you get up here, the better the view. Fairway barely 25 yards wide these days, and trees in play, and a very tricky green. This week, 8th easiest hole, average 420. It's not that long. It's played downwind, but it's caught out Tiger today.
Stuart Applebee, we've talked about that theme so many times, trying to become the first Australian to ever win the Masters. The first international player, though, to ever win here, Gary Player, back in 1961. His first of 3 green jackets, and this week he graced us with his 50th appearance here at Augusta, tying the all-time record. We're back with Applebee driving it wildly at the 17th. Otherwise, a sterling effort today. 2 under. There have been so far very few low rounds. Good Goosen, Retief Goosen out early with a round of 70. Lee Westwood 72, Tiger 72, and Phil Mickelson 73. Of course, Applebee a couple of pars away from matching the Goosen effort. To think how fast it can change and how danger lurks, and one mistake can lead to such a calamity that you can almost eliminate yourself from the tournament, as evidenced by what happened with, there you see Jeff Ogilvy. He was 3 over, well positioned for his 3rd shot into the 15th. One that yesterday he knocked to within a foot to lead the birdie. He probably had the same thought standing over that 3rd shot just a short while back. Instead, he dropped 2 in the water, made a 9. He had an 8, in fact, on the 2nd hole of this tournament. 8 and a 9 for Ogilvy, leading to his undoing here. As you look at the 60, made the cut here. The 10-shot rule applied last night. All those within 10 shots of the lead, all the way back to +8, made it. And it was the highest cut there at 152 we've had at Augusta since 1982. Some of those who failed to make it included Ernie Els and Sergio Garcia, left on the outside through 2 days. Chris DeMarco also missed, as did Marco Mira. Tom Watson had it easily within his grasp until a 7 at the last. Colin Montgomery finished at +9 with a bogey at the 18th. And Els Garcia and Chad Campbell, who had a high finish here a year ago. All of them out, 60 in. And the scoring average today about 77. Let's go back to the 15th.
Justin Rose from the right corner, a nice layup. When he throws it into the slope, and that's how you do it, using that slope to slow the ball down, check, and that just drifts down to the hole. Padraig Harrington now dumped it in the water there. Then he went over to where Justin has just hit that, played a similar shot, and he managed to salvage a 7 out of it. So we go back to Jerry Kelly and that Justin Leonard follow through.
He is tied for second, 2 over. Here at the 14th.
We haven't seen many down there, but you watch this go. And it will leave an impossible putt.
Maybe not a putt. Impossible shot. Any way you want to.
Whatever you're going to choose, it's impossible.
Look where Applebee's driven it here over at the 17, Peter Osterhaus.
He's next to the 7th green in the right-hand bunker at the 7th green. And he has trees between him and the hole. This is going to be a real challenge. I'm not sure he can take a line at the green.
86 to 80. Probably 90.
It'd be sensible not to.
Binned it. It hit the face of the bunker. Now is he in a playable spot? He's holding his hand. Does he jarred his hand as well? Watch about 2 feet below the top of the bunker. And then up into the trees. It really was a terrible. Ooh. Well, he hit it that thin that he got a sting in his hand. It was a bad tee shot, but it finished very poorly, and he still has a challenging 3rd shot. The only player under par at the moment, leading by 2 over Justin Rose, 4 ahead of Tiger Woods when he teed off. This hole.
As we saw with Peter with Tiger, his best option, will, if he can do this, would be go over the green and chip back rather than trying to fiddle, something up front edge would be an extremely accurate shot.
It's still going to be very challenging.
Yeah, we don't know if he can loft it over or he has to go under, but definitely pass would be better.
Only had 1 bogey a day at the 7th. On the green where he was battling out of the bunker.
Well, that's about the 2nd or 3rd tee shot that he's obviously hooked today.
Now, this was really a horrid swing there, wasn't it? Totally lost his balance, swung across it. And it's probably lucky for the ball to get, well, not lucky in the end getting in a bunker behind the trees, but lucky to have the ball go as far as it did through the trees. So 3rd shot at this par 4.
He's looking low, which is again going to be very difficult to control, trying to hit a giant chip shot.
We've got 10 front. Yeah. Look at it, it's not long.
I thought he was going underneath. Looks as if he's trying to get over the top now. Tough to do off a tight lie. Very easy to hit it heavy. We'll scoop this one up. Beautifully. Yeah, he turns away.
Yeah, he didn't. He's left it on the short side. Exactly the same as Tiger.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see what kind of lie he gets. Well, he's a good bunker player, but he needs a good lie. Up and down for a bogey to stay in the lead on his own. Let's double check the 3 players at +2. Of course, they've got some holes to play, some dangerous holes, including the 15th. We'll go to 15.
Where Justin Rose has played this hole beautifully so far. Finally, someone manages to make a 4 here at 15. And he is now at +1. And with Stuart Applebee butchering 17, who knows? He could be right there on top of it at the end of the day. Applebee still at -1. 2 holes to play. And all of these men you see still have a chance of winning this event. There's no question about it. We have a similar day tomorrow. This golf course just gets tougher and tougher. Mickelson still has a chance. Furyk absolutely. Goosen, who started so far behind today, still in with a chance.
You know, it's been so cold. It's hard to realize it when you look at that brilliant sun, but there's VJ shielding the wind with his umbrella. He had Tiger playing in his rain pants today to try to comfort, keep some of the wind and cold wind away from the body. Let's go back to 17.
4th shot at the par 4. And even though he lobs it out, it appears to have some spin on the ball, just doesn't take it, the wind pushing the ball on. So that for a bogey. Let's go to 16.
And it's suddenly become calm here at 16. First time this afternoon. Here's Justin Rose, 6-iron.
Go. Easy.
Rose currently 2 back. Currently 2 back.
No.
Struggling.
Where's the win?
Up the front. To 14.
And Jerry Kelly has this for par.
If you remember, he came up short in the ridge. Balls rolls all the way back, and look what he managed to do. He probably chipped it up or something, and he got the wrong ridge and went careering down there. So
everybody's crumbling except for Justin Rose with that birdie at 15. I mean, they are backing up big time. I'm looking at the board here, and the likes of Goosen and Mickelson are tied for 11th now. It's 6 over. Let's go to 15, trying to get back in it.
BJ Singh at 15, trying to make something happen. Oh, this, I mean, that didn't even get close to carrying. That's right in the middle of the lake. 15 has just eaten their lunch. Back at 14, Jerry Kelly now with, well, this is for bogey?
yeah, that's right. On a day like today, it really is the knowledge of where to miss the greens. Oh, Jerry, that was outside, going outside. So from simple mistakes get magnified.
+4 with the double. 17.
And a putt for a bogey for Stuart Applebee. If he misses, he goes back into a tie with Justin Rose. And if Tiger had parred the last 2 holes, he would be in that tie. It's for a bogey. It was a horrid tee shot. Might have tried to do too much on his second. And this is not in yet. And this is to what was turned into a much easier hole location than originally planned for this hole. Back right, the raised up area. It'll be interesting to see if they use that tomorrow, if the weather is similar to today. This is a remarkably innocent hole location, but it's given some problems. Just look at that leaderboard. This takes him, this putt goes in. He is +1 with Justin Rose. And I think maybe Tiger even angrier that he's bogeyed the last 2 holes. Or maybe not. Pretty tough to clear the mind and concentrate on what's necessary for a 3.5 footer. All of a sudden, 2 over par for the tournament. Livid. The highest score for a 54-hole lead is even par. That was a long time ago, 1966. It might be higher after the end of today's play. Unbelievable. Applebee looked to be in control. We'll go back to 16.
And did we think this afternoon we would say, here's your leader, Justin Rose. When he last played here in 2004, he was the leader after 18, the leader after 36. Shot an 81 in the 3rd round. And this is for birdie. That curls off. He's left himself 3.5, 4 feet. Rose, who opened with a round of 69, 75 yesterday, said he was most proud in that last appearance in 2004 when he came back from an 81 in the 3rd round to shoot 71 in the final. Zach Johnson.
At 15, also laid up way over on the right-hand side to give himself more room. Again into the slope. And he uses it perfectly. That is the way to play this shot. The players who have laid up way over on the right-hand side have figured this out. So they're all coming back. And the Augusta National Golf Course is the winner. Tiger Woods could be in the lead by the time we're finished today.
Well, the water out there, 15, it hasn't frozen yet. It was 52 when we started. Winds at 15, wind chill 47. And it's dropping. And so are the hopes and dreams of many players in the late going. Let's go back to the 16th.
And here is your leader, Justin Rose, for par. There is your co-leader, Justin Rose. This is extraordinary. 3-way tie at the top. Rose, Applebee, despite the triple bogey at 17. Vaughn Taylor playing the 15th. And there's Tiger Woods, who finished today with bogeys at 17 and 18. Let's go back to 15.
Well, this will be a layup for Vaughn Taylor. Please put it over on the right. This hole has just been so difficult for what is usually a reachable par 5. Now he should know, he's a local boy. He's left it a long way back. And that's kind of in the danger zone. That is over on the right, though. Not so bad. It gives him the chance to use the slope to the right of the flag. Slow the ball down a little bit. And it's also on a flatter spot up on the green. Zach Johnson now, this for birdie. It's a left to righter down the hill, very quick. Very nicely done. Very nicely done, and that ties him with Tiger Woods, and he is now 1 shot behind. Who would have thought it? Well, VJ, who hit it in the water and then inexplicably used the ball drop way over on the left-hand side. This was as good a shot as he could hit to get it there, and as good a putt as he could hit. Got it up and down, and he stays at -5, still right in there, looking a little hangdog. This was earlier at 18.
It's the tee shot of Stuart Applebee. Going to shrug off a 7, if that's possible. And we wished he made that swing back on the last tee.
Got a funny feeling he's saying that to himself as well, Jim. Yeah. That's, I know I used to. Why?
17.
Padraig Harrington, he has a chance for a birdie. Beautiful second shot from 136 yards. And he makes it to be +4. .240 people have played this hole before Applebee made his triple. They hadn't made a triple before then. .218.
And Bradley Dredge, only the 2nd time he's ever made a cut in a major.
Please don't go in that right-hand bunker, because we had an amazing yesterday. I was coming in from 191 yards, and we saw about 6 shots out of that, and about 5 out of 6 guys left it in that right-hand bunker. So it's obviously slightly different, but
16.
And the tee shot of Zach Johnson, 1 off the lead.
Jeez.
Now you can see how inaccessible this pin is. We've had 2 birdies today. J.J. Henry and Mark Calcavecchia. That's been it. And Johnson has left himself with a long birdie effort. .218.
And 18 playing now downwind. Applebee. Make a good swing with no doubt a little bit of a shock factor from what he just went through at 17.
Try and take this in low so I can get it skewed up.
yeah, as you heard, he wants to take it in low and land it in the middle of the green and release it up the upslope. Anything on the top plateau will be a very well judged shot. No, the right foot stayed too flat and released it with the. He's got away with it.
Yes, he did.
I didn't like it. Carried it a little further, so went on one way. And ended up a beautiful shot and a chance to just do some good repair on his mind.
17.
This was earlier. It looked nasty going straight left.
That's another one who's oh my goodness. It's nearly gone in that. It looked like it's heading for that trash can, but
to 15 now.
And Vaughn Taylor over on the right-hand side, which has been the right spot to be. Yes. Yes. That's exactly what he wanted, and he'll have that to take the lead. 17.
Looking back down the fairway. And Justin Rose, well, he's a long way back. 190 yards to go. Can't see the top of the flagstick. It's just to the right of that tree line. And what a line. Beautifully played. Should be a relatively easy chip shot from there. He was hoping for some applause, hoping it would stay on the green. Hit it well. At 15.
And this was earlier Jerry Kelly, who was more over toward the middle of the fairway. At +4. Looking a little anxious. And yes, you guessed it. Another one in the water. A few more groups were to come through here and play this hole, and the hazard would overflow. 18.
And dredge.
Wow, off a downhill lie. With a high lip in front of you and then onto a downslope. Apart from that, it's easy. Bounding. Need to get some good spin.
Pretty good. That's that putt that no one can read. The 18th today has been birdied once. Lee Westwood, which gave him a round of 72. It's the toughest hole of all. The final one. Applebee trying to determine if Dredge is still away, and I believe he is. Dredge had only made a cut once, as I mentioned, in a major before this week. That was at the 2002 British Open at Muirfield, where Applebee made the best run of his career in a major when he went into that four-man playoff, eventually won by Ernie. And Dredge, just this last fall, won a European Tour event in Switzerland by a commanding 8 shots, and took that, again, last position off the top 50 world rankings at the end of 2006 to get his invitation here. And Augusta made it right on the number, clipping Justin Rose by 1/100th of a point. Rose later able to qualify her early in the 07 season to get in anyway. And we've seen this putt a couple of times, Nick. It's not easy to figure out, is it?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. You know, the whole, all the natural land is going from left to right, but we know this one goes right to left. So we'll see if he's managed to spot it. It's the first 2 feet that caused the trouble. And there they go.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see.
It's offline right away, and he's got a big one coming back.
Yeah, you spend so much time grinding, looking at the last 6 feet, and it's the first 2 feet, 3 feet. You could see it literally snap hook off the running down there in the air. Right, he's got a 6-footer.
Back to 15.
And what a wonderful story this would be. Vaughn Taylor to take the lead. He has a house 10 minutes from here. Yes! Somebody wants it. And what a feeling for this young man walking to the 16th tee. His only birdie of the day. 3 holes to play in the 3rd round of the Masters. The local boy has the lead.
Well, he can be joined right here. Applebee with a birdie bid. Heal some wounds. Just suffered at 17. Tried to feel it in there, Nick.
And that would have been actually a little bit uphill, so...
After that blazing start, 3 birdies, 2, 3, and 4, not another one the rest of the way. It really settled into a par pattern until 17. Round of 73. Let's go back to 17.
And Justin Rose. Fairly easy chip shot. And at first he liked it, and it rolled and rolled and rolled. And that for a par. To stay at 2 over. At 18.
And dredge. As this for bogey. Ooh. Welshman coming in. 5 over. Here's Ian Woosnam. In the green jacket here in 1991. And you, as the two-time defending champion, there to present him the green jacket. 16.
A moment ago, this was Zach Johnson. Took an aggressive approach, and he's going to need about 12, 14 feet coming back to 17.
And Justin Rose grinding on his par putt, trying to stay at +2. That will be in the clubhouse at +2. So a wayward tee shot, couldn't control his approach, and he'll wait on his bogey putt. And 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes. Birdie at 15, but the others were bogeys at 16.
And Johnson for par. And to remain tied with Tiger Woods. This one is quick. Bogey for Zach Johnson. Remember that BJ Singh was in trouble. He's putting for a bogey. We go to 17.
And Justin Rose. +3 now for the round after that bogey. 16.
BJ for a 4. He was in that bunker right. Couldn't hold the ridge. Had 60 feet for his par and settles for a 4. And back on the tee. The leader, 31 years of age, second appearance in his hometown. He's the current leader. And as David Faraday said, he's purchased a home 10 minutes away from Augusta National. He played collegiately at Augusta State. Saw this tournament for the first time as an 11-year-old. 1987, Larry Mize, another native Augustan, won it. 7-iron.
Turn left.
Oh, he didn't like it. That'll require some touch. For more live Masters coverage tomorrow, go to masters.org and CBS Sportsline for Amen Corner Live beginning at 12:30. and Masters Extra at 1:30 p.m. 31-year-old Vaughn Taylor grew up in Augusta playing the Masters for the second time in his life. He has the lead by 1 over the Aussie Stuart Applebee. Tiger Woods and Justin Rose are at 3 over. Phil Mickelson among the group at 6 over. Retief Goosen made the cut yesterday on the number at 8 over par. In retrospect, how impressive is his round of 2 under par 70 today?
Vern, you mentioned that day, Larry Mize, this being the 20-year anniversary of the Augusta man winning it here, and another Augusta son is leading it. He was there to see Mize's performance in '87. He attended that day.
It was no tomorrow. I'd played really well. I had to hit a good shot and put it around the hole to put pressure back on Greg.
How's that look?
Even though I was nervous, I was really focused on the shot. For an Augusta kid to play in it and then to have the chance to win it and then to win it in '87, you know, I'm jumping up and running around screaming like a madman. I was, you know, as far as the golfing thrill for an Augusta native, I mean, that's the ultimate golfing thrill, and it certainly was for me.
In Augusta, and let's go down to Bill McAtee. Bill?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. With Stuart Applebee, and Stuart, you had a great round going, the 3 early birdies, and then the 17th. Take us through the sequence there at 17.
Can we talk about my birdies?
The birdies were great. You want to talk about those first?
17, down his shadow, the left tee shot, I just hit a straight pull left. It was a sort of comedy of errors from there. I was looking to hit a 9-iron out of the trap, block it right, over maybe front edge right and pitch across that flag. Hit it thin, hit the pine cones, bounced down, proceeded to leave a wedge in the bunker, which didn't plug, which was the positive side of that hole, and hit a putt I thought was pretty good the first one. I thought it'd be slow into the wind up that hill, and it was actually very, very quick, and then the one coming down was a bit of a mystery.
When you have the perspective of time, will this have been a good day because you're in contention at the Masters, or a disappointment because of the triple at 17?
Look, stuff like that happens out here. I'd have to say, you know, take out of the day on hole, very, very good. I felt confident. I played confident. I felt good on the golf course. On a day that was very, very testing just for temperature and breeze and swirling. I mean, it was a tough day. You can see that in the score. So look, on 17, that's golf, that's Augusta. It's a tough opponent, and it'll be a tough opponent tomorrow.
With the conditions, what was the hardest part about grinding it out today? The cold weather?
Cold, definitely down on 15, 16 in the shade there. It was really, really cold. But actually just trying to, I mean, almost get lucky to get the right club in your hand. And just trying not to leave putts with too much difficulty. And that for me, I didn't have too many. I had a lot of putts I had to just lag. And I mean, greens were just lightning fast. You'd see half the people at home probably thought every putt you hit looked short, you know, and they would just run out. We'll get that again tomorrow, so at least we all know what we're in for, and we're supposed to get another cold one tomorrow.
Well, good playing today. Good luck tomorrow in the final round of the 71st Masters. Let's go back to Jim Nantz.
Justin Rose on the tee. Applebee 73, by the way, tied for the 4th low round of the day. When you add it all up, and you've said that many times, Nick, you have to have that short-term memory loss here at Augusta to compete, really.
Well, I thought he had a great attitude there. You know, everybody's going to run up some number this week, and obviously you've got to minimize it.
Harrington, this for par. And a good finish for Podrick. He's in at +4. Yes, he hit it in the water at 15, suffered a double, but then played the last 3 holes 1 under.
Well, here's another play. He had the experience from Wing Foot.
17.
Zach Johnson's on the fairway, but quite a long way back. 171 yards to go. And pretty much dead behind. This should work out. Settle down now. Back to 16.
And the leader just off the green. Vaughn Taylor.
Come on.
So dangerous, because if you If you get too aggressive, you can be 20 feet away. To 18.
And it's Rose. Second shot.
Well played. Right into that little downslope to guarantee the kick forward. That's very well done.
Surprisingly, we've seen very few over there today. Seems like the play. Just hard to pull it off.
Exactly. I mean, guys have been out there, you know, as I said earlier, to play Augusta with freezing cold hands. I can't imagine what that's like.
And sometimes jittery hands on top of it.
Well, they will be. Augusta is all about nerve. It's short. It's nerve first, because of the golf course, the style of golf course, and obviously the magnitude of the event.
And 16.
There's a test of the nerves. So we had the lead for one hole. Did Vaughn Taylor. Bogey at the 16th. Tied with Stuart Applebee. 3 over for today's round, and Woods and Rose just one back. Applebee, Taylor, 2 over par. Woods and Rose, 3 over par. Phil Mickelson, 73 today, but only 4 back. Jerry Kelly just parred 16. Retief Goosen, the round of the day, 2 under par, 70. He moves to 4 back. Paul Casey, Lucas Glover, tough day. It was difficult for so many. We go to 17.
It certainly was, Vern. 77.4, the average score for today. I thought it was a high average after 2 rounds, just under 76. And the top 60 players made the cut. And we're coming towards the end of the 3rd round of the Masters tournament. Play has been pretty slow today. Understandably, it's been breezy, it's been cold. We've seen some slippery greens. And Zach Johnson has a chance for a birdie here at 17. Uphill to this whole location. It's really wide open to attack from the fairway. Judging the distance is the challenge. And Zach will wait before he attempts his tap in for par. Only 5 birdies here to this open hole location, with the wind behind the hole hasn't been playing its full length. And back on the tee, Vaughn Taylor. It wasn't a very good stroke, that second putt at the last green. Looked a little nervous. Still co-leader at +2. Huge Eisenhower pine dominating the left side. Looked to be a good swing. Right-hand side, that's not a bad spot. Better to miss it right than left. Better line into the whole location. Still disappointed with that 3-putt at the previous hole. To 18.
And Rose putting the ball down, back into play. And certainly, like all of these young players out of England, you, Nick, an influence, although you may not realize it. Justin saying you have to look up to Nick Faldo as a benchmark, what you did, and Rose trying to stay in the game here for what would be a breakthrough performance in his career. This for birdie. You know, we're really We talked about that final pairing, the last two off tomorrow, and how the winner has come out of that final pairing every year since '91. We're one Vaughn Taylor bogey away from Tiger being in the final pairing. Let's go to 17.
A surprise.
Zach Johnson does tap in for a par. Seems as if a par is a remarkable score at 17. After the struggles of Stuart Applebee and Justin Rose. And check the leaderboard. Tiger Woods tied for third with Justin Rose. One off the lead, and he was very disappointed with his bogey finish. Zach Johnson, Tim Clark, these gentlemen all still in position. Clark 3 holes to play. BJ Singh coming up 18. Jim Furyk, a 76. Goosen, the remarkable 70. Fifth group off at 10:40 this morning. And look at these scores from best players in the world. Brett Wetterick got off to a horrid start, made a mess of the third hole. Has been struggling since. It's been a battle. Back to the 18th green.
Yes, it's been such a battle that the top 9 players now on the leaderboard have made 18 birdies amongst all of them. So that's, do my maths, what's that, 162 holes played for 9 guys.
And there is Rose with a par. Finishes round of 75. Just recently married in December. Young bride Kate and Justin Rose 69, 75, and 75. And that's what we're talking about. Will Taylor be able to hold on, par in, to make it an Applebee Taylor final pairing tomorrow, or will they slip and put Woods in the last pairing with Applebee?
Vaughn Taylor, 147 yards. The second cut, just the right side. Lovely line into the green. Better view than many of the players in recent groups. And he just mishits it enough, and he was well right. That's not a good shot. From where he was, the view he had, 147 yards, it'll breeze behind. Not a good shot. To 18.
Zach Johnson winding up and unloading.
He's got a determined look on his face. That's what the players have got to change to now, rather than being absolutely shell-shocked. Somebody's got to take this by the scruff of the neck.
Tough little customer. He has that look, sense of fearlessness around him. Let's go to 17.
And Jerry Kelly at +5 is not out of it. He had his struggles at 14 and 15, and he'll have a chance for a birdie. It's more like it at 17. So just to recap, we have to remind ourselves, +2 is leading the Masters. Vaughn Taylor, 2 more holes to play. He's in trouble at 17 in the bunker. Scoring average so far this week, 76.19, 75.63. Then you make the cut. You have only the leading 60 players playing in this third round, 77.34. Let's go to Bill McAtee.
Thank you very much with Justin Rose. When you came out today, did you think 75 was going to be good enough to put you right there?
No, probably not. I mean, I knew 75 wasn't going to be a disastrous score, but yeah, I certainly didn't think I'd be right in the thick of things going into tomorrow.
You've had the lead here before, after the first round in 04 and after the second round in 04. Did that teach you anything that will serve you tomorrow?
Well, yeah, I think I was tested today. You know, I started bogey, which was how I started out 3 years ago, and I think that, you know, just showed how much more patient and calm I was today, that I managed to bounce back from that start, the same start as I had when I went on to shoot 81. So I think, you know, mentally that gives me a lot of confidence going into tomorrow. I think, who knows what the weather's going to be, but either way, it's going to be a day where I've got to be tip-top.
Well, all the best and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
Justin Rose. Let's send you back to 17 now.
And we see Vaughn Taylor's splash shot. Not too bad. He might have expected to run on a bit more. But second shot was wayward. He should have been able to put that one on the putting surface. Still to be a bit down, about 3 putts from the fringe at the previous hole. Let's focus on a good stroke for a par here. It's been a tough day. Again, highest score for a 54-hole lead. It was even par back in 1966. Tommy Jacobs tied with Jack Nicklaus, and we are 2 over par at the moment here in 2007. 218.
Yeah, that's going to be easily shattered here. 288 went on to win it that year. Nicklaus in 66, even par. It was just one better than the all-time highest Masters total of 289, which very likely will fall tomorrow as well. Here's Zach Johnson. This an Iowan who wasn't even the best player on his high school golf team and wanted to play golf for the University of Iowa, but they wouldn't offer him a scholarship, so he went to Drake. And through a whole lot of resolve and perseverance, he made it through the mini tour ranks, and he has a tour win up the way in Atlanta. A couple years back. Now VJ.
He's had a very kind of quiet, frustrating day. I like the way Vaughn Taylor's played the last couple of holes. I noticed back on 17 he landed that ball short of the green and got it to release down, and that shows some great visualization and obviously confidence you can do it. I never know for tomorrow. We might need a feisty youngster to take on Tiger. He's not comfortable. Flew that all the way.
Yeah, right up the halfway to the scorer's tent and back down.
It shows you the fairways are running at about 12 on the stimp meter right now.
Good luck down on that one.
You know, VJ had a little trouble with the tributary of Rays Creek.
Well, that was a complete mishit.
This was what happened at 12. Then his second at 15. This was pretty bold.
Very bold. We saw many a player surprisingly laying up with some sort of fairway wood, and that one was a good 10 yards out from where he intended it to land. So golf ball just not carrying at all in the frigid temperatures.
Of course, he escaped with a 5 there after a great putt from the back of the green. Let's go to 17.
Co-leader. Par putt. So 3 from the edge of the green. The previous hole, not getting up and down from the bunker here. Another bogey. Twice a winner of the Reno Tahoe tournament. Played opposite the Firestone event. Look at this. After the birdie at 15. Bogey, bogey. Stuart Applebee alone, even with the complete mess he made of number 17, he now leads alone. This was earlier. Jerry Kelly had a chance for a birdie. But, a bit of a quick stroke there. But he would make par, and we'll go to the 18th green.
Zach Johnson and VJ Singh. And now, unless Taylor birdies the last hole, we're looking at an Applebee Woods final pairing tomorrow. And just amazing to think those at +6. And again, Retief, one of the first ones out, looking at being 4 out of the lead and somewhere in the area of 9th or 10th place.
Well, it's a good call, that, because obviously the way the golf course is playing is so difficult. Maybe this is a year when somebody posts a score early on in the week, in the day rather, and they get away with, you know, holding off the win.
Final pairings are coming in. What has been a brutally difficult day at Augusta. Back at the 18th tee with Vaughn Taylor coming off of consecutive bogeys.
Good job.
And the lead, but ever so brief.
Like many others today, Jim, I mean, Stuart Applebee ran with the lead for some time, but just about everybody else, as soon as they took the lead, bogeyed or more the next hole.
Up on the green, VJ got relief from the drain and seems to be sitting up on a nice little high perch. Gonna get a little spin on this.
Just try and flip it onto the front edge there.
He didn't like the sound of that, but the result, yes, could have done better.
He didn't quite squeeze the leading edge under the ball. It was a little bit bouncy, but the ground is so firm here. The bounce of the clubs will be reacting differently here. You need a good sharp set of irons this week.
Grind away a little bit coming into this one.
Yeah, be a good idea tonight to go down your local shoe store. What do you, or shoe repair? Do you call them cobblers over here?
No, shoe repair will do just
shoe
fine.
Repair, yes.
Zach Johnson having a word here with his caddy. He's got a birdie putt on the way to join those at +3. And those being Woods and Rose, both in at 219. Zach Johnson first came to Augusta when he was playing on the mini tour circuit. Came here in 2001 as a spectator with a couple of pals who were out there competing with him. They didn't get in for the tournament round starting on Thursday. They saw a couple of practice days and were pretty charged by watching the players trying to skip balls across the water at 16. He took particular note of that. Now here he is in contention for tomorrow's final round in the shootout for the green jacket. Good putt. Good try. Would have been only the second birdie today at 18.
Yeah, the skip shot at 16 has become one of the fun traditions here now at Augusta in practice rounds, and plenty of permutations how to do that.
Almost everyone tries it. It's a must do.
It must do, otherwise you get booed all the way to the green if you don't. So
look at Zach's card here today. 2 bogeys. First 9, 38. And then 38 on the return for 76 +4. That's currently in a tie for 5th with Padraig Harrington. Now VJ, who has long lamented about how much he hates putting in windy conditions, and that's certainly what he faced today, and might have a lot to do with the score, even with the water shots we saw. And a spin out for another bogey. This is going to be 79 for VJ. $17.
Tim Clark found the front bunker at 17. This was earlier. Plenty of green and not a great deal of slope to deal with. Just gathers down to the cup. Pretty good shot. 7 over par for his round. But has to realize he's not that far off the lead. Just a real challenge for the players. They're over par, they're battling every shot. They're trying to convince themselves not to give up on the opportunity to win the Masters tomorrow, even though it's been a tremendous struggle today. But he took the putter back, straight back, didn't let it swing through. Another bogey. Got off to the shaky start. 5-6 at the second, the par 5 out in 40. And then another 4 bogeys on par 4s on the way back. And he's got another tough par 4 coming up. Swung it back all right and then just let it swing through. But the greens are very fast. It was a little downhill. Tricky. 218.
Vaughn Taylor first.
I was just going to say way back 200 yards. Landed at 180 though. Carried it a long way up, like VJ, over the green, and that's going to stay there, which is going to be, a wicked spot. They'll have to play a little bump and run there, I feel, and try and just hop it over the edge.
Actually, he was the second to play because Jerry Kelly may have seen the end result. This was his second shot.
He's going with a little high lofted. Some of the players now have 21 degrees in their bag. Beautifully played, but onto such a firm surface. And me, a little bit easier there, slight uphill lie.
Well, Nick, here's how they stand at this moment. And it's Applebee and Woods and Rose and Taylor. Then Harrington with Johnson, they're 4 over. Bradley, Dredge at +5. There's an impressive group, though, at +6. I mean, these are some big guns. Will one of them make a move, or maybe a couple tomorrow? Mickelson, Furyk, Goosen, Toms, Clark, Donald, and Sabatini. They are all at +6. I mean, everybody out there is saying what it could have been, you know, and that includes Tiger and his poor finish. This was at 17.
This was an incredible attempt at a mega power cut with about a 9-iron. Unfortunately, the ball stayed up in that bunker there, splashed out to there.
A good run at par. Thought he'd made it right there. And it took a last-second detour. So a bogey at 17, then his approach. There weren't many swings that looked like this today from Tiger. His game was pretty complete.
Either completely fooled by the wind, or it definitely looked a half swing.
At this for par.
And I think, well, an impossible putt to read. All the professionals misreading the start of that putt off the back edge.
Ended up with a round of 72. Look across the way. Down at Amen Corner. Look at the crossover at the Nelson Bridge. Aaron Nelson remembered on Thursday morning before they had the ceremonial first shot from Arnold. Augusta National Chairman Billy Payne with a really beautiful moment. He asked everyone to pause for a moment of silence to remember an incredible man we lost last fall.
Maybe that golden light is a little shaft of light coming down from Lord Byron.
Peggy was here to take in the moment of silence, and one of my all-time favorite memories at Augusta was being able to say the last time he walked across the bridge that bears his name. I just happened by chance to be there. It was late in an afternoon. He wanted to see it one more time, and we helped shuttle him down the last few steps, and he escorted Peggy across the way, and he showed her the plaque.
That's sweet.
Now we've got 2 similar shots coming up here.
Well, as I said, I think the first one's got to be kind of a little bump and run, and oh no, going with the putter, which with it all being downhill, all he needs to do is just let it literally fall onto the putting surface, and it would just about get down to the pin.
Of course, we don't play stymies anymore in golf, but it almost looks like this is the occasion.
Well, yeah. I remember watching some of the footage from Byron Nelson and the chip shots when they used to play match play and played the stymie. That's what they need to bring back for match play, the stymie. That would be fun. Anyway, very difficult after such a long, frustrating day just to keep your